Hi guys, and welcome to the AP Calculus course, AB course. In this video, we will be doing the multiple choice 2019 uh, paper, where we have no calculators and calculators. So the questions with no calculators, we will do them, which is 30 questions. And then with calculators, we have 15 questions. Anyways, let us solve question number 1, right? So we want to integrate integral of x squared over 4 dx. Very basic question, right? This one here, you can get it quick. So leave the quarter as it is. We add 1 to the power divided by the same power. So x cubed divided by 3 plus c. So what's the answer? Guys, we can communicate.
X cubed
Right,
over 12
excellent.
plus c. Yeah.
B1,
Excellent.
yeah.
All right, very good. Question number 2 and 3. So we will be doing 45 questions in total today, right? In this video. Right, so which of the following is an equation of the line tangent to the graph of y equals cos x at x is equal to pi by 2. So we have x is equal to pi by 2. We will get the point of contact first, right? So what is the point of contact? Point of contact is x and y values. So we have pi by 2, right? And if you substitute cos of pi by 2, what is cos of pi by 2? If you observe the cos graph, cos of pi by 2 is 0.
0?
Good. Now we need to find the derivative to find the slope, right? So derivative at pi by 2. So y prime, the derivative of cos x is negative sine x, right? Let's look at the sine x graph, starts from 0, right? And the slope at pi by 2, right? Y prime pi by 2 is negative sine pi by 2. What is negative sine pi by 2? Pi by 2, it is 1.
-1?
Negative
Oh,
1.
it's 1.
Yeah. So now what is the equation of the tangent line? Equation of the tangent line is y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. The slope is -1. X minus x1 is x minus what's x1? Pi by 2. And what's y1? 0. So that's my answer. So if you take a negative inside, it will become negative x plus pi by 2. And that's my equation of the tangent line. Are we good?
Yes.
So negative
so
So
then-
x.
C1, yeah.
The minus
Yeah.
sign, the minus sign graph, it's the same as the normal one.
No,
it's-
I'm not looking at the minus sign graph. I'm looking at the sine x
Okay.
graph, the normal sine graph.
The
I'm
normal,
substituting,
and
then I'm substituting pi by 2
Okay.
inside, right?
got it.
So if I substitute pi by 2, I get 1. So the negative remains there, -1. Excellent. All right, so let's have a look at this next problem. We want to differentiate. What is being squared here is this part here only, right? Sine root x squared. I need you to rewrite this in a form where you can differentiate. Just remember ddx. You need to remember ddx of root x is 1 over 2 root x. If you can remember this basic thing, right, then it's easy. ddx of root x is 1 over 2 root x. If you remember this basic rule, why? Because you're finding the derivative of x to the power half, right? And that is half x to the power negative half. Negative half, it goes at the bottom and becomes x to the power half, which is root x. Okay, so I just explained that. Now you want to find the derivative of this function, so ddx, so it's like saying y equals 2 sine root x squared. You want to find the derivative of this. So what's y prime? 2 times 2 is 4. Sine root x remains sine root x, right? We take away 1 from the power, we get 1. And differentiate the inside. Differentiate sine root x, you get cos root x. And then the derivative of root x is 1 over 2 root x. So see which answer it is. We got sine root x, cos root x, yes. We got root x in the denominator, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this answer will
Mister,
work out
for
the
y
best.
prime, you used product rule, right?
Chain rule. Chain and trig. 2 times 2 is 4. That's chain rule.
Sine
because
x times cos, yes, I get the first part.
this is a
So
this is
so
the
you
derivative of
differentiated. So
Sine
it's like
root
you
x.
differentiated it sine alone and the root x alone, right?
Yeah. The derivative of sine root x is cos root x, and then the derivative of root x is 1 over 2 root x. It's chain
Okay,
rule.
okay. Yes.
Okay? Right. Good stuff. Excellent, guys. Right, you got to work fast with these types of questions in order to save time. Right, you can't be wasting time on easy questions, especially if you have where you might get stuck is word problems, right? Because it can be confusing. But these types of questions you should be able to solve quickly. Look at this. Now, don't ever worry about what's on the top. Look at the powers. Worry about the ugly looking function. So we'll call this u, right? We have to use u substitution now. So we say let u equal to, the bigger function is at the bottom. So you say let u equal to all of this on the inside. U is equal to x cubed plus 3x minus 5. So what's du? 3x squared plus 3 dx. If you take out 3 as a common factor, you can see you get the derivative on top. So we can see that the derivative, the higher power is x cubed and the lower power is x squared. One power more, one power less. So the power more you make equal to u, right? So the entire function, of course. All right. So now, if you take out 3 as a common factor, you're left with x squared plus 1 dx. Do we have x squared plus 1 dx? We do. X squared plus 1 dx is this part here. And what is x squared plus 1 dx? Du over 3. So now I have integral du over 3. And what is this? 1 over u cubed. What's 1 over u cubed? That's 1 over u cubed. So 1 over u cubed, you can take out 1/3 out of the integral, and that's integral of u to the power negative 3 du. That's 1/3. What is this? U to the power negative 2 over negative 2 plus c. And what is u? The entire function here. Are we good, guys? So what's the
Yes, sir.
answer?
Wait.
Negative 1 over 6 times 1 over u squared plus c. It's basic u substitution, all right? X cubed. Okay, just check.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Right. Okay, so we are now looking at question, what's the answer? Negative 1 over
It will
6.
be B. It
D1,
will be
D1.
B.
No, not b. How can it be b? We got
D,
u as
D.
the entire function. Yeah, u is the
B,
entire
B,
function.
B.
The answer option is D, yeah.
I didn't see D, my bad.
All right, excellent. You must check what the function u is. U is x squared, x cubed plus 3x minus 5. Excellent. All right, guys, the idea is to solve these questions quick. All right, let's see. And try and copy 2 to 3 questions at a time. And let's see. Explanations needed. Right, so see what they said. The function f is given by this, right? On what intervals is the graph concave up? What does concave up means? That the double derivative must be positive, right? So let's find f prime x. What's f prime x? 12x
12x
squared.
squared minus 4x cubed.
What's f double prime?
24x minus 12x squared.
How do we solve this inequality? We take out highest common factor, which is 12x. We are left with what?
2 minus
2.
1, x, just x.
2 minus x greater than 0. Now draw a number line and put all the zeros on the number line, the critical values. So that's a 0 there.
12.
And that's a 2. Why 12? 12x. 12 times 0 is 0. Looking for the zeros of this function, zeros. Now, choose any value and substitute inside this inequality. Choose any value after 2. Let me choose the number 10. 2 minus 10 is negative, and negative times positive is negative. Choose any value between 0 and 2. 1.
1.
Positive then.
Oh, positive.
Any value less than 0.
Negative 1. Let's choose.
Negative
You can-
1. So
Negative
2
value
negative,
again.
negative.
Be
Positive.
negative.
Negative.
Negative. So what
How?
answer am I looking for? It'll be negative. Choose the negative one. 12 times negative 1 is negative 1, and 2 minus minus 1 is
Okay,
positive.
So 0,
the
2
answer-
only.
Yeah, 0
It's
to 2
BC.
only.
C.
Yes, it must be a round brackets. Must be a round bracket. Braces must be round. So the answer is between 0 and 2. 0 to 2. It is concave up. Excellent. Concave down will be less than 0, and inflection point will be equal to 0. Inflection points are at 0 and 2. Okay? Excellent. Let's look at question 6.
Rizali, inflection points are the same thing as like turning points, right? If we're looking at
No. Inflection points are this, where the graph changes from concave up to
Yeah.
concave down. See,
Turning
that
points.
point.
So like
No,
they're at the changing point.
turning
no?
points are here.
Oh no,
Turning
that's
points are
different.
here.
Yeah.
Turning
Okay,
points
okay.
are the, these are turning points.
Inflection points are when they switch sides
Concavity
from
change.
When they're
positive to
switching
negative.
concavity. Okay.
Change in concavity is
Okay.
better to learn. Yeah. Inflection point is that.
Inflection
Right.
points is that.
Let's look at this. X plus 3y to the power 1/3 equals y. What is dy dx at the point 2 and 8? So this is implicit differentiation. If you're going to differentiate x, you will get 1. If you differentiate 3y to the power 1/3, 3 times 1/3 is 1. So it'll become y to the power negative 2/3. I took away 1 from the power. If I differentiate y, I will get y prime. Remember, y is a function in x. Okay, so you're doing a chain rule here. So what did you do? 1/3 times 3 is 1. Take away 1 from the power. You get negative 2/3, and then differentiate y. If you differentiate y, what do you get? You get y prime. Equals, differentiate y, you get y prime. So you want to find dy dx, which is y prime. Y prime is basically dy dx, okay? At the point 2 and 8. So easy. Let's substitute the point 2 and 8, right? So what is 2? What is 8? 2 is the x value, which is, there's nothing to substitute into. There is no x values here. But 8, yes, we can substitute y value of 8 and find y prime. Okay, so this implies 1 plus, how can I write 8? Isn't 8 is equal to 2 cubed? And if I raise both sides to the power negative 2/3,
So cubes cancel out.
cubes cancel out, you get 2 to the power negative 2,
So 1 over
which
2.
is
So 1
which
over
is
4.
1 over 4. So this value here is 1 over 4 times y prime is equal to y prime. Now solve for y prime. If I solve for y prime here, I can take out y prime as a common factor by taking this y prime onto the other side. So I've got quarter minus 1, which is equals to negative 1. Quarter minus 1 is negative 3/4, right? Y prime is equal to negative 1. So
B1.
so negatives cancel out. So what dy dx becomes 4 over 3. Yeah, good. Excellent. So at least you know how to, switch and solve quickly. Yeah, so that's easy. Good. Let's look at this one here. The derivative of this very important question, right? Because they're testing you on something, right? And look at the way this is represented. So what's the derivative of if you have a function a to the power f of x? What's the derivative of a to the power f of x? Wait. It's going to be a to the power f of x times f prime x times ln a. Good. That's what you're talking about. Remember, the derivative of e to the power f of x is e to the power f of x times f prime x times ln e, but ln e is 1. That's the reason why we leave it out. Now, let's differentiate this. We don't have a problem differentiating x to the power 5. That's easy peasy basic knowledge. What's the answer?
5x to the power 4.
5x4.
Good. And what's the derivative of 5 to the power x? 5 to the power x. I just did the rule here. Times the derivative of x, which is 1. I'm not going to write it.
Times
Times
ln
5.
What's the answer there? Times ln 5. Good. Very good. Excellent, guys. Make sure you know the rules.
Mr. Quick question. Will the rules be given to us in the exam or no?
No.
No,
I don't think so.
no.
No.
You have to learn the rules. All right, let's have a look at this. I think you
Mister,
can't
but there
really
are some
substitute.
stuff that are given. Like
They will
they
give you.
give us they give you like sine pi over 2. They write it for you in like a, what is it called? They give
Look,
you
we
all
do,
values of trigonometric functions for common angles. That's the only thing that's given.
but we don't even need them because we can just use tree graphs
Yeah.
and solve them because I just showed you
No,
now.
for the no
Exactly, yeah.
calculator part. If they give
Yeah,
you
you
no
don't even need
calculator.
it. I'm saying we don't even need it because we can
Oh.
just use tree graphs and solve them quickly. All right, let's
So
find
it's a
the
L'Hospital rule, yeah? If, as I see, infinity over infinity.
y. All right, excellent.
Because
Very good. Very good. Infinity over infinity. Excellent. L'Hopital's rules. We just differentiate the top separately, differentiate the bottom separately. Very important note, please don't ever use quotient rule in L'Hopital's rule, right? Just differentiating separate function over separate function. So good, infinity over infinity. Are we getting infinity over infinity?
it's like
Yeah, kind
negative
of.
infinity over infinity.
It's fine, but the negative can be taken out of the limit, so you still got infinity over infinity, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right, so you remember that negative can be taken out of the limit. So anyways, we're going to do a derivative on the top, limit as x approaches infinity, minus 12x, right? Over
Yeah.
derivative of 5 is 0, so 3e to the power x. Again, we're getting infinity over infinity, right?
So we
So again,
differentiate
L'Hospital
again.
rule.
Right, so again, do L'Hopital's rule, limit as x approaches infinity. Remember 12 divided by 3 can be cancelled out. That's 4. If you don't cancel them out, is fine. So we're getting negative 4 on top. And at the bottom, we're just getting e to the power x. Now I have a question. We're not getting infinity over infinity.
So
What's
0.
e to the... Good, excellent. What's e to the power infinity? Very large. What's negative 4 over something like 100 million? 0.
0.
Good. Yes, excellent. It's just direct substitution. Substitute what's e to the power infinity? It's a very large number. If I take 4 divided by a trillion, the answer will be 0. It will approach 0 eventually. Right, good. Let R be the region bounded by the graphs of y equals 2x and y equals 4x minus x squared. It's very important to draw. Remember, you're not allowed to use a calculator. We know the zeros are, this is a function like this, right? And first we need to
So I
find the
have a
points of
question here.
yes.
Here, how would you know which graph is the top and which graph is the bottom if you don't have a calculator?
That's what I'm trying to investigate. So what we do
Oh.
first is try to find the points of intersection, all right? We're going to find the points of intersection first. So we'll say 4x minus x squared is equal to 2x, right? We bring the 2x over. So we will get 2x minus x squared is equal to 0 because 4x minus 2x is 2x. We take out x as a common factor. We're left with 2 minus x, which is equal to 0. So the points of intersections are at 0 and at x is equal to 2. So now we know that we are integrating between 0 and 2. Now, if you don't have a graphing calculator, this is what you're going to do. So you are basically integrating between 0 and 2. Now we need to check the graph. Remember this function here, 4x minus x squared. 4x minus x squared is a sad function, right?
Negative concave, yeah.
And the intercepts are at 0 and 4. Because if you factor this out, you're going to get 0 and 4. So we know the graph of this function here, 4x minus x squared, is between 0 and 4. Now,
How did you
let
know
us look
again?
quadratic function, basic quadratic function, negative x squared plus 4x.
Oh, yes.
Right. Now we have the next function. Remember this point where it turns is the midpoint, obviously, it will be 2 there. Now, yeah, it's a very good question. Like, how do we know which function is on top, which function is at the bottom? Let's substitute. If you substitute 2 inside this function, 4 times 2, you'll get 4, right? If you substitute 2 here, you will also get 4. So we know that those are points of intersection. Now, what if you substitute the value 1? If you substitute the value 1 here, you will get 3. Right? And if I substitute 1 here, I will get 2. Right? So I know that this graph, the yellow graph, is above. Right? So I know that the equation of the parabola is above the straight line. Okay.
Teacher, I'm sorry. I have a question. Sorry.
Mhm.
I think that in any situation, the straight line gonna be on the top, no? Or there is some cases when the concave
It can.
graph, I mean quadratic, will be in the above part,
Yeah,
no?
yeah. You can have. Is just by substitution I use. Look, if I substitute 1 here, I get 2, and if I substitute 1 here in the second function, I get 3. So at the point 1, which is between 0 and 2, between the points of intersection between 0 and 2, we know the area is equal to integral 0 to 2. But what's happening at 1? The quadratic function is lying above the straight line function. So it has to be the top function minus the bottom function. So it's the quadratic minus the straight line. So it's 4x minus x squared, subtract 2x, all right? And now you got to integrate this with respect to x. Now, integral 0 to 2, 4x minus 2x is 2x minus x squared dx. If you integrate this, basic knowledge, integral of 2x is just x squared, right? Derivative of, I basically divide by 2 here already. So minus x cubed over 3, 0 to 2. If you substitute 2, good enough. You substitute 0, you'll just get 0. So 2 squared is 4, and 2 cubed is 8. 4 minus 8 over 3. That's 4 over 1, right? So that's 12 minus 8, 4 over 3 units squared. 4 over 3 units squared. Is the answer 4 over 3? Yes, B. Are we good?
Yeah, good.
Any
Sir.
questions,
Amazing.
guys? Any questions? Easy
No,
questions,
we're
man.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, all good. There's basic knowledge, right? Looking at question number 10, it's a graphing question. So what's given here is the graph. Right, so I'll put the question next to that. Question 10, right? I'll put the options and stuff next to that. Right, so let's have a look at this graph and the multiple choice options. Right, so what's given here is the graph of the function f is shown. If g is a function defined by g of x, what is the value of g prime 2? So this is a graph of f. We want to find g prime 2. So let's start by doing this first now. Let's find g prime x first. So this
Mister,
has to be, yes.
G prime x equals f of x, so means G prime 2 would be f
No,
of 2.
no. Who told you that? G prime x is this entire big function here. It's quotient rule here. You have
Isn't
to
the
read the,
basic rule of graphs
no,
that G double prime of x would equal f prime of x?
depends on the function. Look at the function that they told us. G of x is this x squared plus 1 over f of x. So in order to find g prime x, we got to differentiate this. What is the derivative of the top? X squared plus 1
Mister,
is
isn't it
2x.
f prime g minus g prime f over g squared? That's the rule, right?
Yeah. That's what it
Okay,
is.
so
So the
top is 2x
leave the bottom
times f of x
and
minus
differentiate
Minus
the
f
bottom,
prime
f
x
prime x
and
times
then
x
leave the
times
squared
x
plus
top,
1.
squared plus 1 divided by f of x squared.
f of x all squared. Right now, what do we want to find? We want to find g prime 2. So substitute 2 everywhere. So 2 times 2 is 4 times f of 2. Okay, I'm just going to ask you what is f of 2. I'm not going to really substitute it. Okay,
f of
no,
2 is 3.
wait. F of 2 is 3. Good.
3.
Subtract. What is f prime 2?
The slope.
Okay, good. This is f of x, all right? F of x is a linear function. If I differentiate a linear function, oh yes, what is f prime 2 is a good question. So you need to find the slope at 2.
Yeah.
Oh, what is the slope of this line?
Yeah, it would be, wait, let me do rise over run. So 1,
Yeah,
2, 3, 4 over 1. It's 4.
So it's 4 over 1. Yeah, 4.
It's 4.
f prime 2. What do you mean you did rise over run? I did rise over run. There's a rise 3 over 1. I got 3.
Mister, the 1 is not there. It's at the negative 1. The negative 1 is the point. Go from negative 1 up to 3.
Oh yes, you're right.
You went up
Sorry.
to 1. It's wrong.
Yes. This is incorrect. Yeah, I misinterpreted that. So let's look at this. The 3 And the 3, you took the point 3 and 2.
No,
That
Mr. We
triangle.
did
Oh, I just did
from
rise over
3 to
one.
-1.
So you
Or
got
you
4.
could do, yeah, we got 4.
Yeah, it's right. There's 4 here. It's
Because
correct.
from 3 to 7, it's 4.
Yeah.
And then this
Yeah,
would
so that's
be
4.
times 4 as well. No.
It's 5 times 5.
Times 5. Times 5.
Wait. I shouldn't
Oh,
have
okay.
went from. We are trying to find f prime 2, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why I went there. It's at 2. So you should have took it from there to there. Yeah, so we're still getting 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 divided by 2, yeah. So it's
You
4.
still get 4.
Yeah.
Times
then-
5. 5.
Times 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Divided by
All over 9.
All over
over
9.
B squared is 9.
So you got 12
Yeah,
minus
12
20.
minus 20 over 9.
Over 9,
Is
so
equal to
negative
Negative 8 over
32.
9. What? Negative 8
Oh,
over
negative.
9.
Good. Excellent. Look, you might have a problem, in graphing and stuff, but questions like these, you shouldn't be like sitting and struggling with. You must be able to solve them quickly. So what we're going to do is x squared over x, right? And split it up. Take out x as a common factor. It's easy. So if you take out x as a common factor and divide it by x, you already got an integral, which is easy. -1 to 1, just x minus 1 dx. Okay? Makes sense. I took out x as a common factor. So you took out x, you left with x minus 1. The x and the x cancels out. The top and the bottom. Khalas,
Mhm.
x minus 1, and we're done now. So that's x squared over 2 minus x. Right? Negative 1 to 1. If you substitute 1 here, you're getting half
1/2.
minus, so negative half.
Negative
We got half minus 1. Subtract.
Exactly, I got -2.
If you substitute negative 1 inside here,
Negative
what do you mean you got
1/2.
negative?
No,
Wait,
I
one-
solved
oh,
everything. I got
oh,
-2.
you meant-
So I got half
okay.
minus 1. How did you get negative?
Plus 1 will
It's
be
negative 1 squared minus 1.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
right.
it's
Oh, you're adding
yeah,
everything
it's-
up. Yeah, -2. Yeah, okay.
Negative 2 is correct.
Yeah. No,
Remember,
I
no
was doing a half minus 1 and then minus half plus 1 and it canceled the ones and yeah.
Look, obviously you can solve these questions much faster. Just remember there's no calculators here, so
Yes.
just trying to solve using logic and stuff, right? Let's see. The table above gives selected values for the differentiable function f. In which of the following intervals must there be a number c such that f prime c is equal to
IVT.
2? Not IVT, it's not interval, it's f prime c is equal to 2. It's more like mean value theorem. In which of the intervals should the slope of this function be 2? The slope is 2. What is slope? Slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. When is the
X1,
slope
yes.
equals to 2?
0
Between
to
which
4.
interval? No. When is the slope 2 between which interval? Slope is y2
Is f
minus...
of x in that case y?
Yeah, f of x is the y value, same thing.
Try and error.
Sir,
Yeah,
I
so
think
10
it's 4
minus
to
2.
8.
So 10 minus 2 divided by 12 minus 8, no?
Yes, 10 minus 2 divided by 12 minus
10
8.
minus
Let's
2
try
over
that out.
12 minus 8, yes.
Yeah, that's the only one that works. There's nothing else.
8 over 4 will be 2. Yes.
Is that right? That's
Yeah.
10 minus 2 divided by 12 minus 8. 10 minus 2 divided by
10 minus
12 minus 8, which is 2. Yes, that's it. So
Yeah.
the interval, the value for C will be between, see what they said, number C such that f prime C is equal to 2. It has to be between 8 and
C.
12. Good.
Yeah.
Remember the answer that we are looking for, between which intervals. So C needs to be between 8 and 12. X value is between 8 and 12. So C is between 8 and 12.
Because c is the case like a x, no? That's
Yeah,
why.
yes, it's like an X value. Good. look at the next one. Another problem with I don't know whether this is L'Hopital's or direct substitution. Let's check.
No, I love it.
If we,
Is zero
It's
or
Lapid-
zero, sir? Yeah, L'Hopital's rule.
Yeah,
It's
zero.
zero over
It's
zero.
Good, zero.
because it's 0 over
Zero.
0.
yeah, so limit as x approaches infinite 0. Differentiate sine x, we get cos
Cos
x. Over e to the power
E to
x.
the x.
But now e to the power 0 is 1.
1 over 0, 0, so.
Wait,
1 over
wait.
0.
How you got 1 over 0? Cos of 0
Because cosine
is
of
1.
0 is 1.
Cos of
zero is
0 is
one.
1. 1 over
And e to
1.
the power
There's
0?
1 over 1.
1
It's
over
1.
1.
1 over
Yeah,
1
you're
over
right.
is good. Right, excellent, good.
Over.
It will be 1, yeah, my bad.
Right, excellent, guys, excellent stuff. Right, so a particle moves along a straight line so that time t is positive. Obviously, its acceleration is given by a of t. At time t equals 0, the velocity of the particle is 2. At time t equals 0, the velocity of the particle is 2. What information did they give us there? V prime 0. This here means V prime 0 is equal to 2. The velocity is 2. And the position of the particle is 5. In other words, position is S of 0 is equal to, or displacement, right, is equal to 5. Those are the information given. Which of the following is an expression for the position of the particle at time t is greater than or equal to 0? Look, the best way to solve it is double differentiate and see which one gives you 12t. What do you say? That's the easiest way of solving it, isn't it?
Can't we solve it using integral?
We can, but we're trying to look for the fastest time. We're going to integrate a of t, and then we're going to integrate the velocity and get the position function. Of course, we can do it with these initial conditions. But now, which one, all of them gives us position 5, all right, when you substitute 0. So obviously, this is information not helping us. Let's differentiate each one and see, substitute 0 and get 2.
Okay. So you would get 12.
Yeah, 12t
12?
plus 5.
12t plus. No, you differentiate this
just
to be 12t. Where did you get
12t.
5?
So, right, so if this is velocity, all right?
Yeah, if you substitute 0, you would get
0.
you'd get 0. So A is
But
wrong.
when I get A is wrong, good. Try next one.
And then here it would be 18t squared plus 2. So 80 t squared,
So it's this one.
2.
Because you get
It-
2.
2. No, it
squared
can't be.
plus
No,
2
we never
is
check the
2.
rest. We never check the rest.
Okay.
Here it would be 6t squared plus 5.
That can't be this one
So
then.
here you'd get 0,
Yeah.
and the other one you'd get 6t squared plus
6t
2.
squared plus 2. Okay,
you
so it's
also
either
get-
B or D, right?
You
Yeah.
also
So
get
now-
2.
So now
You
let's find the
redifferentiate again.
acceleration. Let's find the
Differentiate again
acceleration.
to get A. Okay.
So we're getting 36.
36t.
So it can't be
Uh-huh.
this. So it has
So
to be
it's
this.
gotta be T.
Differentiate this. Find the
12
acceleration
T
here.
squared,
Yes,
12t.
yes, it's D. Yeah.
So it has to be T.
Nice. Yeah.
Right, so that's how you don't need to go and integrate, because I'm trying to save you time. I can go and integrate this using this initial condition and find the answer, but I'm not going to do that because you found a much faster way.
It will take
right?
a long time.
Mm.
Yeah, it will take a longer time.
So we're trying to be efficient and try to solve these questions as fast as possible. You can have a look at the, solution guide and see.
Mr. Thank you for the AP Classroom. You give us like 12
Yeah, a lot of
exams.
papers.
I solved one yesterday. I got
Excellent.
a good mark.
All right, let's have a look at this. Let f be a function defined above. Which of the following statements about f is true? F is continuous and differentiable at x is okay. So now they're talking about continuity and differentiability at 5. Let's substitute 5 and see what answer we get. Let's substitute 5 from the left, right?
Okay, you would
So,
get minus
5 from the
5
left.
squared.
What's
13.
5 from the
13.
No, 5 from the left. So it's negative 5 all squared 20, negative 25 plus 3, which is negative 22.
Ah, my bad.
Is
Negative
it also
22.
equal, if I substitute 5 from the right, that's negative 50 plus 28. Okay, so I'm also getting 5 from, so we know it is continuous.
It's continuous.
It's continuous at 5.
So that
Good.
means C and D are wrong.
C and D, but not, yes, C and D is wrong. So the answer can either be, now let's check for differentiability. Differentiability is easy. We just need to find the derivative and substitute 5. Let's find f prime x. So
Yeah, it will be
let's differentiate this. Negative 2x.
2x, and then underneath you would get negative 10.
And we get negative 10. If there's
So
nothing to
negative 2
substitute
times
here.
5 would be negative 2 times, it would be negative 10, so they are differentiable.
Yeah, so they're also differentiable because
Yes.
negative 10 equals negative 10. So the
Yeah.
derivative from 5 from the left is also equals to the derivative to the 5 from the right. And both of them gives us negative 10 as the answer. So it's differentiable and continuous at 5. Are we good,
Yes.
guys?
Yes.
What does continuity mean? Directly substitute into the function. What does differentiability means?
The derivative on both
differentiate.
sides have to be equal.
Yes, yes. Differentiability means derivative from the left must be equal derivative from the right. Substitute the same value of 5. Right, nice, excellent. What are we looking for here? Then try to solve a differential equation or something, yeah.
I can just tell this is,
Let's see.
I'm assuming, implicit.
If y equals 1 when x equals 1. So we know 1 and 1 is a solution to this problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
So substitute 1 and 1 and see which one is the solution to the problem. Then what y equals? Don't even bother wasting your time solving this.
Okay, so if we
differential.
substitute, the first one you would get 2 minus e to the
So
1
1,
minus
1.
1 is e to the 0, so it would be 1. So y would be
Hmm.
1, and you would get 1, 1. A is correct.
What about b? What about c? What
B,
about d?
B would be, if you say e to the 1 minus 1, so
It's
it would
also
be e to the 2, it would be wrong.
2 minus, no, we're substituting 1 for x, right? 1 minus
Yeah,
1
if
is
you
0.
substitute
So
1, you would get
1 minus
1.
1. We're getting 1 minus. It's also right.
So
Then
this is also
c,
right.
c is 2
C is incorrect.
minus.
You would get negative 1.
Yeah, no, not negative 1. You'll get 2 minus 1 over e. This is wrong.
And D is all the way. D is wrong.
So we need to check here now. Okay, guys, the reason why we minus the reason, remember 1 and 1 is a solution to the differential equation. So if I'm trying to substitute x value 1 and checking if I'm getting y value 1. So obviously I'm getting 2 minus 1 over e. So this is wrong. Over here I'm getting 2 plus 1 over e because I'm substituting x value as 1. So that's clearly not 1 and 1. But over here I'm getting 1 and 1. Now the next part is how do I check the differential equation? So remember, this is a function y equals. So y equals 2 minus e to the power x minus 1, right? I can go and integrate it, but I'm not doing that, right? So because obviously you can do separable differential equation. Oh, no, it's first order. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is something else. It's first order ordinary differential equation. Oh, yes. Now let's go and differentiate this. What's y prime? Obviously 2 falls out. Negative
Y prime
remains
would
there.
be negative ln.
No ln, because ln e is 1.
X minus 1 times 1.
X times 1, so leave out the times 1 on the top, derivative of the top. So that's what it is. Now,
Mr. You
see,
confused me.
why?
If
What's
you
the
do
derivative of
dy over dx equals 2 minus y,
is 0?
this is the same thing as saying 1 over 2 minus y dy equals dx.
No, you're gonna take the y
So he's right
over to the
because we can
No,
what we can do is
it
we
will
can
be-
equate the two.
Yeah,
2
1
minus
over
y
2
is
minus
equal
y
to 2
dy
minus
equals dx.
ex to the minus 1. And then we solve
yeah, we
that
can.
way.
Yeah, we can solve that differential equation. It's fine. I'm just showing you the quick and easy method, but it's fine. If you want to solve it like that, let's take this y to the other side. We got dy over 2 minus y is equal to dx. Yeah, it's possible. Move the
Yeah, and then you differentiate both sides, you'd get minus
integrate
ln.
both sides.
My
Integrate
bad.
both sides.
You'd get
And
minus
negative
ln 2 minus
2
y
minus.
equals x plus c.
The integral of this is x plus c.
And
But
then we solve for c.
Wait 1 second. At 1 and 1, you can solve for c. So if you substitute 1 here,
No, but we don't have a calculator. We can't do it.
no,
Wait,
no,
mister,
Because
substitute
you know what you
minus
can
one
ln
do?
here,
1.
You can
negative
say
ln. Ln
ln
1 is
of
0.
ln of 2 minus y equals
So
negative
c
x
equals
minus
-1.
c.
No, no
Negative
need.
x minus
Just give
c.
the,
So
I'm
C
solving for
zero
C
in that
here.
case.
Oh, c equals
C is
-1.
negative
So
one.
it's
-2,
a.
-2.
Negative 1. Ln of 1 is 0.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, right, yeah.
Okay, so let's solve this now. So we got negative ln absolute value 2 minus y is equal to x minus 1. We
minus
can
1.
solve the differential equation.
I
Good.
didn't do your way, mister.
It's fine, it's fine.
This way
1
is more
minus,
difficult.
multiply both sides by negative 1 minus x, right?
Is equal
And
to ln.
ln 2 minus y.
Then we
So
take
2 minus,
e to the power
yeah, e to the power 1 minus
1
x.
minus x. So it's, yeah,
So,
b.
so
b was the thing, right?
yeah, it has to be 1 minus x. E to the power
Yeah.
1 minus x. It'll be
So
b.
b, yeah.
Let's
How
check,
did you
let's
do
check.
it like this, mister?
Now, absolute value of a minus b is equal to absolute value b minus a. So you can say 2 minus y minus 2 is equal to e to the power 1 minus x, right? And we know this is positive, always positive. So we can drop the absolute value. So y is equal to 2. Take the 2 over. 2 plus e to the power 1 minus x. Wait a minute. Supposed to be
Mister,
2 minus, yes.
I did
Please.
it a different way. I
Yeah.
did from the beginning. When we wrote minus ln 2 minus y equals x plus c, I
Mhm.
did that. I said ln of 2 minus y equals negative x minus c. And then if you simplify it, it would be 2 minus y equals e to the negative x minus c. And then I said e to the negative c. I wrote it as a new constant a,
Wait, one
which will
second, one
be
second. 1 second. Why didn't you solve for the constant first?
because it would be you can't solve for the constant in this case because we don't
No, you can.
have a
You can.
calculator.
No, you can. You got 1
I
and
just
1.
did e to the negative c would be I said that to be a, and then I did y equals 2 minus a e to the negative x, and then I substituted 1 1. I got that a equals e to the 1, and then if I plug e to the 1 back, you'll get y equals 2 minus e to the 1 times e to the negative x, which will be y equals 2 minus e to the 1 minus x, which is b.
Okay, guys, if you drop the absolute, if you just drop the absolute value, then you can get the same answer. That's it here. Yeah, so 2 ways of getting it. Good. Right, so there's it here. Is B. In this case, I think they're assuming that absolute value of 2 minus y is positive. So there's it here.
Yeah.
I can just drop the
Yeah.
absolute value here and take the y over and bring this over, and there we get the answer B. Good. All right. Question 18, another easy problem is just finding the derivative of this function here, right? And let's see. So we are at 16. With question 17. 1 second, sorry guys. 17 I missed out. So looking at question number 17. Let g be the function defined by this. What is the x coordinate of the point of inflection of the graph of g? Now, nice question. If you're going to find point of inflection is double derivative. So what's g prime x? For g prime x, we need to use fundamental of theorem of calculus. We are differentiating an integral. So you substitute the upper boundary inside, differentiate the upper boundary, substitute the lower boundary inside, subtraction, and then differentiate 3, you get 0. So just substituting the upper boundary inside. So g prime x is x squared minus 5x minus 14. I haven't seen a single question so far where the bottom is also a function in the AB course, right? So I think most of the time just substituting the x inside and getting the recovery of the function. So g prime x is this. So what's g double prime x? G double prime x is 2x minus 5, and then making that equal to 0. Remember, the double derivative needs to be equal to 0 to find inflection point. Okay. So what's the answer for x? 5/2.
I
That's
understood
it.
5/2. Yeah.
Yeah. So easy
So
this question
oh,
was.
okay, inflection points. Okay, if it was asking for like
Inflection.
concavity or something, we would do less than or greater than 0, right?
Yes,
Mr.
that's correct.
Just a
If
quick
okay.
question here. You solved, so the x that they're asking for is the x that's on the integral, right?
Yes.
So then you solved for the inside, and then you got x for the outer integral.
Okay, let me listen. I want you to learn this rule so you don't keep on asking me the same thing. So if you have a function like y equals, if you have a function y equals, watch here. I'm going to give you the general function, right? So if I have function f of x is equal to, okay, let me call it y equals, right? So if I have an integral y equals, I have a of x and b of x, right? A at the bottom and b of x on the top. And this is f of t dt. Right now, if I want to differentiate this integral, if I want to differentiate or find d dx of this integral here, right? With these boundaries, a of x and b of x. How will I differentiate it? I need to substitute the upper boundary inside the function. So it'll become f b of x times the derivative of b of x, substitute the lower boundary inside, f a of x times the derivative of a of x. So let's look at the example that you had. You've got integral 3 to x of f of t dt. I'm not writing the function down. If you substitute x here, you'll get f of x. If I differentiate x, I will get 1. Subtract. If I substitute 3 here, you'll get f of 3. If I differentiate 3, you'll get 0. So that's why I leave out all this. I don't worry about this because I'm substituting a constant and then differentiating it. So you only get f of x left. Okay?
Because f of 3 times 0 will be 0.
Yes.
So you only
Yes.
get f of okay.
Right. So that's a fundamental theorem of calculus for differentiation. Right. We're basically differentiating an integral. Right. So you understand this now. Just substitute x inside. You got that? Because if you substitute 3 and differentiate 3, you get 0.
Yes.
So that's the reason why you
Okay.
don't get the second. And I haven't seen a single question where top and bottom are like functions. Only the top is a function in x. And it's a simple
What do you mean
function,
top and
just x.
bottom are functions?
You can also get like x squared and x, but I haven't seen a single question. They always put the bottom as a constant and the top as x. I haven't seen the top being x squared and 5x cubed and e to the power x and stuff like that. I haven't seen that. I've always seen the problem in this form. They can put any constant at the bottom, but the top is like always x. So is when you find the derivative, just substituting the x in the integrand. Let's continue here now. You are differentiating x cubed times sec 2x. So obviously this is product rule mixed with trig. So we are going to use the product rule. Derivative of x cubed, anyone? 3x squared
3x squared
times sec 2x
sec 2x
plus
plus
what's the derivative
x
of
cubed
wait. Do the derivative of sec 2x.
sec 2x tan 2x, because the
Derivative
derivative
of
of sec
sec
x is sec x tan
Sec 2x
2x
tan 2x.
times
We're not done.
x
We're not done. What about the derivative?
times 2
Times 2 derivative. Differentiate
Yes.
that one, then that one, and then leave the first.
Yeah.
And now compare which answer you have here.
Okay. It's C.
3x
No, wait,
squared
wait,
sec
wait,
2x.
No, it's not C.
Wait.
I think it's D. It's D.
Yeah, it's
They
D.
put-
so it's-
They put
yeah.
this
Yes,
at
yes,
the end
yes,
and
it's
that one.
D,
in the
it's
front.
D, it's D, it's D, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so please make sure you're comparing it properly, right? Good. Yes, a particle moves along the y-axis so that time t is greater than or equal to 0. Its position is given by this is a position function, all right, or displacement function. Which of the following statement describe the motion of the particle at time t equals 1?
So we will just substitute.
No, motion of the particle. What is motion? Motion. You need speed and
Velocity.
excellent. velocity and acceleration. That's what you need. Good. Let's find
Differentiate.
let's find dy dt, which is velocity in t.
Mister, when it says motion, they mean both velocity and acceleration, right?
Yeah, so because we're trying to get something now. Now what's dy dt?
3t squared
Uh-huh.
minus 8t plus 4.
And evaluated at 1
It will
at
just
t
be 4.
equals to
No. It will just be 3 minus 8 is -5, -5, -1.
we're getting -1, which is less than 0.
Less than 0. And then for acceleration, it would be 6t minus 8. So you would get 6 minus, it's -2 as well.
I'm
So
substituting
that
t
means
equals
the
to
particle is increasing because the acceleration and
how?
velocity have the same sign.
No. Let's look at this now. Does this particle have decreasing velocity?
I don't know.
The -2. Does the -2 mean decreasing velocity? Velocity is decreasing.
No, but the total motion is increasing because the velocity and the acceleration have the same
Yeah,
sign.
in the
Both
obviously in the
increasing.
opposite direction. In the opposite direction, yeah. But now see what they're talking about. They're talking about the particle is moving down the y-axis.
No, the
Why?
answer is
Because
B. The answer is B.
I don't think it's increasing velocity. I think it's decreasing velocity because
No, because,
-1.
yeah, but both of them.
The
Oh,
particle
because
moving.
Mr. Remember, velocity is, if it's negative, it's usually going the opposite direction. But we don't know how fast it's going. So it's because the acceleration, if you take the absolute value, it's
Okay.
more
Look.
than 1.
Look, I have a question.
It's
I have a
increasing
question.
velocity.
I have a question.
Yeah.
With regards to this, what does decreasing velocity means? Decreasing
Teacher,
velocity means
It's going
decreasing
reverse,
velocity
or
means
it's
that
going
the
in.
double
Mister,
derivative is less than
yes,
0.
you're correct. You're correct.
Decreasing velocity means double derivative is less than 0, right? I'm looking at it in terms of the words. I'm not looking at
Mm.
yeah, I'm looking at this in
It's
terms of the
because
wordings.
they would
I think it's
be,
this.
yeah, because they would be speeding up in the downward direction.
Yeah. So it's B.
They're
Because it's
speeding
speeding
up
up.
in the downward direction.
Yeah. It's going the
No, but
opposite
look,
direction and it's speeding up
look,
because
the
velocity is
acceleration
negative.
is negative, and the velocity, it is decreasing.
Okay.
It's
Guys.
A.
Look, wait, 1 second. Let me observe this using functions, right? So this is a cubic function, right? We said that the derivative at 1, let's just say this is the x-axis, all right? I don't know how many intercepts there are, right? So we're just saying the derivative at 1 is on a downward line, it's on the downward sloping line. So maybe 1 is there, right? So you can see the slope is negative here. And double derivative is also concave down. So at t equals, so this is concave down part. So I think it's occurring around there. Just say the inflection point is somewhere around there. So we're not looking at the inflection point.
But Mister,
But what about saying moving down the y-axis?
Mister, let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
Look, if we want to say increasing velocity, then that means the velocity is getting more positive or less negative. And this would happen when the acceleration is greater than 0. But here, the velocity is getting more negative and the acceleration is also negative. So B would be wrong because the acceleration would have to be positive. So the answer is A.
Decreasing
Because the
velocity. That's
acceleration
what
is
I
negative
think.
as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
Mr. If you think of it, it's talking, I feel like it's talking more about like absolute values and stuff. When it says
Mister,
increasing
wait,
velocity,
let me
it
deep
means
seek
like
it.
Like
No,
increasing
velocity.
negative velocity.
You see, decreasing velocity basically definitely means that double
deep
derivative
seeking
is less
instead.
than. Decreasing velocity means that the double derivative is negative at 1.
Yeah,
We're not talking about the entire motion of the particle. We're only talking about the motion of the particle at t equals 1. And I don't know. I'm going to go with
I
A.
deep seeked it, mister. Give me the answer. It's saying deep seek saying the answer is A.
I'm going with the A as well.
Yeah, deep seek saying the answer is A. I just deep seeked it.
I'm going to go with the A. Right.
Wait, mister, but isn't it like if it's decreasing velocity, it's slowing down?
Bro, Rizwan, this would be increasing in the downward direction.
Yeah, but it's decreasing velocity and it's slowing down, no? Which means that the acceleration is positive and velocity is negative,
Bro. What
meaning
this
it slows
means is
down.
like a car is speeding
Or
up.
does it mean it's becoming more
This
negative,
means, like, look,
decreasing?
this means a car is speeding up, but it's reversing.
Okay, wait. Look.
Yeah, so the
What I would
velocity
say,
is increasing. I don't know
one
though.
second. We know that, okay,
But
we
it
don't
sounds
have
like
an
that.
issue. Okay, we don't have an issue with the A and B, all right? The thing is, we undecided about A and B. We definitely know that it's moving down the y-axis because this is
Yeah.
less than 0. I wanted to explain this part over here. You see, if the double derivative, if y double derivative is less than 0, it's the same thing as saying v prime t less. What's the meaning of v prime t being less than 0?
That means that if v prime t is
Velocity is decreasing.
velocity is decreasing, yes.
Correct. So if velocity is decreasing, yeah, if velocity is decreasing, that's what it means. That's it. That's the best way I can explain it.
So it's A?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Okay.
A.
Okay.
Or is one, because it's like
Yeah.
it's like you are
We can have
increasing in the negative side. So you're increasing and like you're speeding up, but you're decreasing
But
at the
in
same time.
reverse, yeah.
It's like you're
Okay,
throwing a
decreasing like
rock.
it's becoming more negative, right?
Yeah,
Not
it's
like
like you're
it's
throwing a
slowing
rock
down.
down a hill.
Okay.
It's like you're
Okay,
throwing a
I
rock
got
down
it.
a hill.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, guys, next one. If the integral from 1 to 4 is equal to 8 and the integral from 1 to 4 is equal to -2, which of the following cannot be determined from the information given? Can we find the integral from 4 to 1? Integral from 4 to 1, yes, we can. The integral from 4 to 1, from 4, bottom is basically equals to negative integral 1 to 4. Let's just find the values for each one, right? So integral from 1 to 4 of g of x is equal to -2. So integral from 4 to 1 is like taking out a negative and changing it back into 1 to 4 of g of x. But we already know what this is. So it's -2, which is 2. The answer for the first one can be determinant. The second one, integral from 1 to 4 of 3 times f of x. Of course, that can be determined. We can take the 3 out and take 1 to 4 of f of x dx. F of x dx is 8 times 3 is 24, right? That can be determinant. What about the last one? From 1 to 4 of 3 times f of x plus g of x. Remember, we can take an integral into a sum, but this can be determined. We can't take an integral into a product. You can't say this. This is clearly not equal to 3 integral f of x integral g of x, right? You can't do this. You can only take an integral into, you can only take a single integral into a sum and a difference. You don't ever take an integral in product of 2 different types of functions. Are we good?
Mister, in this case, in the explanation for C, why it cannot be, it would be integral of f of x plus g of x, right?
But you can't do C like that.
You can't do f times g in the same
Yeah, you
integral.
can't. You can't.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
You can only take integrals. You can only distribute the integrals into sums and differences. You cannot distribute an integral into product of 2 different functions. Right? Good. For any real number x, limit as h approaches 0 of this function is what? What is this? This is your first principles formula. What
It's
is
the
f
first
prime
principle,
x?
yeah.
What's f prime x equal to limit h approaches 0 of f of x plus h
Mister, quick question.
minus, yes.
Since it's dividing
What's the
by
question?
0, wouldn't the answer be 0?
No, we're not dividing by 0. This is, you need to look at the entire formula here and identify it as a first principles formula. So basically, this is like saying this is your f prime x. So we want to know what is the derivative. Basically, what is the derivative? So what is the function? If this is f prime x, we can clearly see, example, if I call it f of x equals x squared, how will I write down f prime x in terms of first principles? I would say limit h approaches 0, x plus h all squared, correct, minus x squared divided by h. So which means the second part is your function. The second part, sine 2x, is your function. So this implies my function is sine 2x. From this first principles formula, it implies that this part here is my f of x. This part is my f of x. So if my f of x is sine 2x, what is the derivative? We want to find the derivative. What is the answer for this problem? What is the derivative of sine 2x? Yes,
Negative cosine 2x.
Cos 2x?
cos 2x. There's something missing here.
So
Times.
cos 2x
Negative.
times 2.
Oh, yeah. Times 2.
Good. So this is my answer, D. Cos 2x times 2.
So how
Excellent.
did you know the question is asking for derivative?
There, it's written in the first principles formula.
Because that's, yeah,
Ah.
for first principle.
Yes, formula for the first principle. Definition of the derivatives formula. All right, so let's look at question 22. Right, so your favorite slope fields. Now I want
So
you
we're
to
halfway
draw.
done, right?
We're almost there. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the next part is easy because just need to use a calculator to solve, right?
Yeah. Got this.
Now you need to go and decide which slope field it is. And I showed you how to solve. Substitute values and check which one it is. Now, let's see what's happening now. Let's look at the x-axis. See, all the slopes are 0 on the x-axis, isn't? For any value of x, the slope is always 0, isn't?
Yeah.
So for any value of x, substitute any value of x here and see if you're getting a slope of 0. Let's substitute a value 1, 0. If I substitute in a 1, 0, then I'm getting 1. So it can't be the answer. A can't be the answer, right? I'm just basically substituting 1, 0 in here.
And even
When I
B would
substitute-
be wrong.
B will be wrong because I'm just taking a point, simple point. I'm taking a point 1, 0, and I'm checking if the slope is actually 0. What is slope? Dy dx. Let's try. Okay, C will be correct.
And D would be correct as well.
But now we need to determine what type of function this is now. C and D are both correct, but we need to look at different slope fields now. Let's
Let's
go
substitute.
higher up. Let's go one up here. See, we are substituting 1. C and D are both correct, you're saying, because we're substituting 1, 0, and we are getting slope 0 and 0, right? So now let's go one higher up. All right, so let's look at this slope here now. Let's look at this. This here looks like y equals x. Looks like the slope is 1 here. At 1, 1, is the slope 1? Yes, it is, man. So again, getting like conflicting
Let's go
values
1,
here.
3.
The slope
So
is like
try
almost
x
vertical.
equals 2, y equals 1. Because the slope is the same across y equals 1.
What is that?
The slope looks like it's the same at y equals 1 on this. So all values
Y
of
equals
x
1.
on y equals 1, and it looks the same.
Uh-huh.
They're all the same, like slope and
Yeah,
magnitude.
they are the same.
So we could plug in 3, 1, and we could try that also. But there is no, we can't because there's no x.
3 and 1.
No,
If you're gonna
never mind.
substitute
You'll have to go higher up, mister.
okay, let's go to 1
Yeah.
and
3.
1 and 3. If you substitute 1 and 3,
Looks like
you
the
only
slope here is 0.
No. 1 and 3, the slope is 9 here. And when you
Yeah,
substitute
9
1 and
there
3,
No,
2.
Mr.
the slope
1
is
and 3,
4.
slope is 27. What? How's
No,
it
no, you're
4?
right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right.
27 and 9.
27 and 9. Good. 27 and 9.
So
But the slope
something
of 27.
extremely steep. No, but we can't find that.
Okay. I want you to look at the slope fields here, all right? I want you to look at the slope fields. Are there any negative slopes here? All the slopes are positive, right?
No, they're all positive.
So
So it
khalas,
has to
the
be
answer is
something
D.
that's,
The
yeah,
answer is D because the slope is
Yeah.
always positive. It can never ever be negative.
it's not going the opposite
Ah.
direction.
Yes, yes.
Because it's
So we
even
should
power.
no, because every single slope is just going either is 0 or is positive or is positive, is positive. All the slopes are positive.
There's
So-
nothing, yeah.
Yeah. So if you substitute y values that are negative, like if you went here and substituted this point, like 0
Yeah,
and
you would get
negative
a
1,
negative value. You would get
you'll
a
get a
negative
negative
value.
value. So it can't be this answer. It can only
Yeah.
be that. So the answer is D.
So D, okay.
It's solved purely by logic.
Yeah, logic. Otherwise, what if they ask you to sketch a graph of the function? So you see, look at the way these graphs are going. See, look at this graph here. What graph can you best fit here? So the best fit of this graph can be, let's see. I'm just trying something here. If I have to solve this differential equation, I will probably get a cubic function. So, but not maybe like this, maybe
Oh,
going across, right? Trying another one.
wait, so
Because
Mr.
remember,
This is the function before we differentiated, right?
yeah, this is the original function.
Okay, so it's a cubic function when we differentiate it, so it's gonna be a squared function.
Yes. So your slope
Okay.
fields are basically square functions, correct?
Hmm.
Excellent, guys. So remember, sometimes in FRQ, they tell you to sketch the original function using the slope fields. And they had a question in FRQ like that. Yeah, I think it was a 2024 FRQ paper.
Miss, in the 2023 paper, they told you to sketch a whole slope field. Wallah, miss, if they give me a question like that, I'm gonna
No,
leave
it's
it.
not. It's not. No, it's not difficult. You're just substituting different values of x and just substitute. You will
Yeah, but
get
you
it
wouldn't have
easily.
time to do it.
No, you will. It's not over the entire region. You only got like from maybe like a 2x2 grid. You don't have to sketch so much of slope fields. You'll eventually find a pattern and then you'll fly through those rest. You just have to sketch a few. Right. The base of a solid in the first quadrant bounded by the y-axis, x-axis, the graph of y equals e to the power x, you must be able to have a general knowledge of sketching graphs. E to the power x, come on, it's a basic exponential function, increasing exponential function, right? So you must have the basic knowledge. Now they're talking about the first quadrant, so this is e to the power x function, right? And is bounded by the vertical line from there to 1. Right, so I'm going to break it up at 1. Right? For this solid, each cross-section perpendicular to the x-axis is a square. So dropping down, it's a square. So now draw a square, right? Draw a square and find the cross-section and integrate to find the volume. What is the volume of the solid, right? So remember, the height, what is the height of the function? The height and the height will be the same. The height is the function value, which is e to the power x. Okay? So what's the area of the cross section? Area is height squared, which is e to the power x squared. What's e to the power x squared? E to the power 2x. So we just need to integrate this function, the cross-sectional area,
From 0
because
to
volume,
1.
yeah, integral a to b of a of x dx. So integral 0 to 1 of e to the power 2x dx. Integrating e to the power 2x is just e to the power 2x over 2. Remember the general rule for integral of e to the power mx dx is just e to the power mx over m plus c. Now you're substituting 0 and 1. If you substitute 1 here, you're getting e squared
E to the
over
power
2
of
minus half.
minus half.
Which one is it? half e squared minus half b.
Yeah, B.
Perfect. Right, so next question. Another graph question. We want to find the integral. What is the value of the integral from 0 to 12 of f prime x? Think of f prime x as being the velocity function. So if you integrate the velocity function, what you get? You get the position. So you base, right. So the integral of f of x dx from a to b is basically f of b minus f of a. Fundamental theorem of calculus. So the integral from a to b of f prime x is what?
F prime of B minus F prime of A.
That's where it's gonna be f
No.
of x.
No, f of x.
F of b minus f of a.
This is a bigger function.
Yeah,
f of
so
b
f of b minus
minus.
f of a.
So what is the integral of this? F of 12.
F of 12 minus f of 0.
So what's f of 12?
Minus 4, and f of 0 is 4.
F of
4.
0
Yeah,
is 4. Minus 8.
yeah, so minus 8.
A. Easy, huh?
Wait, yeah, minus 4, minus 4. Yeah, easy.
Perfect. Right, so the equation is a particular solution to the following differential equation. Which differential equation must you solve to get that? Now, we don't know how to solve this differential equation, but what we can do is you're not going to integrate each differential equation. You rather differentiate. Let's try to solve A, right? Obviously, we're going to start at A and then start. Now, let's say y is equal to 2e to the power 6x minus 5. So what's y prime?
Y prime would be
12.
12 e to the x.
E to the power 6x. 1 second. 12 e to the power 6x. That's it. Now test.
Wait.
I
have a question.
Okay, wait. Let's simplify.
When you
it for
have e to the
Leave
power
the
of
2. Leave the
is
2
this
as
supposed
it
to be
is.
e to the power 6x times 6?
So that's why I put 12.
Oh,
Now let's test A and see if that differential equation actually works and if this is a solution. What is y prime? Y prime is 12 e to the power 6x minus
6y.
What's y? What's y? 2 e to the power 6x
2 e to the
minus
power 6x
5
minus 5 minus 3.
minus, is that equal to 0?
No.
Yes,
yes.
it is.
Yes, it is equal to 0.
So
Yes.
خلاص.
Oh,
12
yes,
e
yes,
power
yes, yes,
6x,
yes.
yeah.
Because the
So
12
that's
would cancel out with the 12, and then the 30 would cancel out with the 30.
So
Yeah.
that's my answer. That's my answer. Done. I'm not going to waste my time doing the rest because we never learn second order differential equations, right? But it can be the answers. Okay, so this is how you test for it. So what is the second one testing for? 2 times that. The third one is the second. So now you're going to try to do double derivative. What if the first one and the second one wasn't the answer? So now you need to find double derivative, substitute your derivatives in there, and check if you get 0 as your final answer. Okay, it's easy.
Mm.
Right, so I'm not going to waste my time solving the rest. Great. Now this question here, what is the value of x in which the minimum value of y equals, we want to find the minimum value of this function occurs on the closed interval 0 to 1. So they want a minimum value, okay? So obviously we're going to find the derivative, make it equal to 0. So what's y prime? 3 times 4 over 3 is
The 4 over 3
4x.
times 2 would... Oh, the 3
Is that
cancels
correct?
out. Wait.
Is that right?
Wait.
Yeah, it is right, so yeah.
4 third times 3. the 3 and the 3 cancel out, you get 4. Take away
Yes,
1
yes.
from the power, you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
1/3.
yeah. Correct,
Minus 2
correct.
equals. So now you take the 2 over and divide by 4, you will get 1/2.
Yeah,
You're going to
1
cube
over
both
2.
sides. You're going to cube both sides, you get 1/8. That's it. That's all they asked for.
Yeah. So, Mister, we didn't need to use the 0 and 1, right? We didn't even use them.
If you substitute 0 inside there, you should get okay.
Negative
What
2.
if you oh yeah, let's call this function f of x, right? So y is equal to f of x. If you substitute f of 0, you'll just get 0, right?
Mm.
If you substitute 1, you're going to get 1. 3 minus 2, right? And if you substitute y equals f of 1/8, now remember this graph is only from 0 to 1. If you substitute 1/8 inside here, you're going to get 3 times, change the 1/8 into 2 to the power negative 3. I'll tell you why, because then it'll be easier to simplify. 4/3 minus 2 times 1/8, right? Let's check if this is actually giving you a minimum. So 3 times negative and negative cancel out. So that's 3/16. You understand why? Because 2 to the power negative 4 is 1/16 minus a quarter, right? 2/8 is the same thing as saying 4/16.
Yeah, here you would get negative 1 over 16, the answer.
Negative 1/16, which means that from these two values, when you substitute 0 and 1, what can you conclude here? 0 is minimum, 1 is maximum. So
No,
in this
Mister, we can
case,
solve this by substitution as well.
this is this is the absolute minimum. So we can
Yeah.
call this the absolute minimum, and it's the absolute minimum and a relative minimum value is both. But these are endpoints, so this is the absolute max then. So we can't call this minimum or maximum. We don't know what this is.
Mister, we could solve this as well using substitution. We can substitute 1/2
Oh.
as well.
Why would you substitute 1/2 in there?
No,
The relative minimum is 1/8. We cube both
Yeah,
sides, so we got
I'm just
1/8.
saying you can substitute all of them and see which one will give you a lowest value. You'd get absolute min.
Yes, correct. Yeah, of course, you can do that. Obviously, you guys are much smarter. You have different methods of solving problems. All right, guys, let's check the next one. All right, so at time t equals 0, a storage tank is empty and begins filling water for t greater than 0 hours. So time is in hours. The depth of the water in the tank is increasing at a rate of WT feet per hour. So this is what? What is WT?
Feet per hour.
So it's a rising rate, isn't? Because
Yeah.
you're filling water into the tank, there's no water flowing out. So your WT is this function, the rising rate, okay, which is
Yeah.
basically the height of the water in the tank. Which of the following is the best interpretation for the statement W prime 2 is greater than 3? Okay.
See these questions, they
Yeah,
mess
I
me
know,
up a
I know,
lot.
I know. It messes everyone up because you see theoretical question. Right. So now let's see. 2 hours after. No, what does W prime mean? It means that how fast the height is rising. It's like a double derivative. Because remember,
So wait. So you said
the height,
the
the height changing, the change in height is always already the WT function. How the height is changing is always the W. See, the WT
Is
is
height.
the height changing? It's the change in height, how fast it is changing.
Yeah,
It's
because
like
it
more
says
like
at a
dH dt.
rate.
Yeah,
A
so
rate
it's
means delta H.
1 second. It basically means dH dt. WT is like dH dt. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. 2 hours after the tank begins filling water, the depth of the water is increasing at a rate. The depth of the water is increasing at a rate greater than 3 feet per hour. 2 hours after the tank begins filling water. So that is the depth of the water is increasing at a rate greater than. But we already know that that's increasing. So over here, I think they're talking about W2 is being greater than 3. Okay. Over the first 2 hours after the tank begins filling water, the depth of the water is always increasing at a rate greater than 3 feet per hour. We can't say this. Isn't?
Mm.
2 hours
So I think the answer
after
is
the
D.
let's see. Wait 1 second. 2 hours after the tank begins filling water. Okay, all these statements are exactly the same, right? Over the first 2 hours after the tank begins
And
filling
2
water.
hours
No,
are
no, no,
also
no,
the
no,
same.
no. This is totally off. 2 hours after the over the first 2 hours. No, that's all. Over the first 2 hours. No, 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 no. The answer is D is incorrect. B and D are incorrect. Let's see. 2
What's
hours
the
after the tank
difference
begins
between
filling
over the
water.
first 2 hours and 2 hours? It's the same
it
thing.
ba- No, 2 hours after the tank begins filling water. Over the first way is more like average rate of change. We're talking about over the first 2 hours. Okay. But now this is like an instantaneous.
What?
Over the first 2 hours, more like average rate of change, like saying f of 2 minus f of 0 divided by 2 minus 0. We don't want that. We want the instant. We want the instantaneous rate of change. Okay.
Okay.
2 hours after the tank begins filling water, the rate at which the depth of the water is rising. The rate. See, look at the keywords. The rate. The rate means the
Yeah,
derivative.
mister, so
So
it's C is
the rate
talking
at which
about
the depth
the
of water is
rate,
rising
yeah.
is
So
increasing
the
greater than
instantaneous slope.
is definitely, yeah.
Greater than 3
Definitely
feet per
C.
hour, yeah.
Yes.
Because then if it's, you know, it can't
No,
be A because it's talking about the depth changing constantly.
so that's
But it's
basically
talking about the rate
DHDT.
of
Thought
the,
it was one.
Ah,
Bro, last year
I,
there were like 4 questions of this in the multiple
oh
choice
my
rule.
God.
Wallah, I got tripped
Yes.
out.
Yeah, you will get
So
This
isn't
tricked
it DT
because there
squared?
will
is
be
by far the most
huh?
difficult
DT
question
squared,
that
yeah.
might come in the MCQ. Because
Yeah,
all of the
it's
answers are very
trippy, dude.
similar.
It's like, yeah.
Well, they're all very similar, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's someone. But
Like one
you saw
word.
the keyword. You saw
Yeah,
the keyword
rate.
here, the rate, yeah. And this is nonsense because they can't talk about always increasing, right?
Always increasing makes no sense.
All right, let's see now. Let's look at this. So a person stands 30 feet from point P and watches a balloon rise vertically from the point as shown in the figure above. The balloon is rising at a constant rate of 2 feet per second. The balloon is rising at a constant rate of 2 feet per second. What information is given there? That's dHdt, right? So if this is the height, dHdt is 2 feet per second. That's your rate. What is the rate of change in radians per second of angle theta at the instant when the balloon is 40 feet from the point P? All right, so great. 40 feet from point P, that's towards the end. First, set up an equation. Don't put 40 there. That's the end part. First, answer the question. What is the rate of change in radians per second? So using this triangle, what information can we use? But opposite, adjacent, and we got theta. So tan theta is equal to h over 30. Now remember the height is changing and the theta is changing. So height is a function in t, right? And theta is theta as a function in t. It's implicit. So differentiate tan theta. Derivative of tan is sec squared theta. Differentiate theta. You get d theta dt Differentiate, that's 1 over 30. I'll take it out as a fraction. Differentiate h.
dt.
Good. Is all the information given? Let's substitute the information now. Now you substitute all the information. Now let's go here and substitute the information. Now, what did they tell us? They told us that what is the rate of change in radians per second? So there's it here. D theta dt. That's what we want to evaluate. Now, at the instant when the balloon is 40 feet from the point, now you know that it is 40 feet from the point P. So the height is 40. So you got 30, 40, 50 triangle. What is sec? Hypotenuse over adjacent, the opposite, the reciprocal of cos. Hypotenuse over adjacent is 5 over 3. So you're going to say 5 over 3 squared. D theta dt is equal to 1 over 30 times, what's dh dt? They told us that's 2.
So what did you do here? The
Look at
thing
the
down now.
information.
Yeah.
40 feet above the point, that's 40. So this is a 30, 40, 50 triangle. Pythagoras, you get 50.
Okay.
3, 4, 5 triangle, 30, 40, 50. Pythagorean triple. You can solve for the hypotenuse using Pythagoras. 30, 40, 50 triangle. What is sec squared theta from this triangle here? Sec is hypotenuse over adjacent, 50 over 30.
Yes,
theta,
50 over. Okay, yes.
which is 5 over 3.
5 over 3 squared times. Okay, yeah.
So
that
now
makes
on
sense.
this side, I've got 1 over 15. 3 squared is 9, so multiply by 9. And 5 squared is 25, so multiply by 25 at the bottom. All right?
So it would be 9 over.
Don't multiply like that. Simplify the 9 and the 15. Divide by 3 on top. So you get 3. Divide by 3 at the bottom, you get 5. What's 5 times 25?
100.
So it's 3
125.
over
100.
125.
25.
And I think that can be simplified further, right?
No, that's it.
75.
No, you
that's
can't.
it, yeah.
3 out of 125. That should be.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Oh, okay.
Excellent,
Sorry.
guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes the questions are easy. It's like, like school math, especially this one here. This is like normal basic school math. See what they said. How many vertical asymptotes does so you need to find zeros in the denominator, okay? So let's find the number of vertical asymptotes. So y is equal to factor.
So can you find vertical and horizontal both, just so we can, so I can remember?
Yeah, so 1 second. Let's solve this first. X minus 2. Vertical asymptote is for the denominator, making the denominator equal to 0, right? So let's see. X to the power 4.
So the number that would make the denominator
Isn't
0
it just
is
4?
4.
Because it's a 4th degree equation.
No, wait. X to the power 4 is the difference of 2 squares. X squared plus 4.
X squared plus 4
squared
squared minus 4. And then
continue.
you can
X plus 2.
plus 4, x plus 2, x minus 2. X squared plus 4.
X squared plus 4. I think this here cancels out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get 1 over x plus 2.
But x cannot be equal to.
What?
X
2
cannot be equal to plus
to
minus 2. Plus or minus 2.
Plus or minus, yeah.
So will be 2 vertical asymptotes. We cancel them out. But there's a 0.
Mr.
No, this will
White,
have a remove.
Because x can't be equal to. Oh, yeah, 2.
Okay, wait. No, wait. 1 second. You see the 2 that you cancel out there? When you, in a rational function, if you can cancel the factors out, that has a removable discontinuity. At x is equal to 2. And
So there's
this will
3
become the
values.
only vertical. No, wait. Vertical asymptote will be
X minus
x
2.
is
X
equal to
equals
negative 2.
2.
So I think it's only 1.
What about the x squared plus 4? Oh,
Nothing.
no, that's
That's
imaginary.
complex numbers. That's
complex.
That's
Yeah.
imaginary. You can't do anything.
Yep.
We good, guys?
Yep.
So just one vertical asymptote. vertical asymptote is more like, yeah, it's just the way the graph cannot touch it. Right, so next question, almost there.
Mish, can you do the horizontal as well for the one up?
Yeah,
One
I'll do
question
it now.
left.
Horizontally is just pushing infinity in there. If you push an infinity inside here, if you throw an infinity here, the numerator degree is smaller than the denominator degree. So the answer is 0. Okay. So the horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. Right, so the integral from 1 to b of x squared dx is equal to this. So it looks like the integral is a Riemann sum itself. So what's a Riemann sum formula? Area equals integral a to b of f of x dx is equal to limit as n approaches infinity, sigma n equals 1 to k equals
K equals
1
1 or
to
I equals 1 to M.
1 to or k or I. Good. I think we used I. It's fine.
We
K
used
equals 1.
I.
Okay, let's use I. I equals 1 to. They just change the I into a k. All right, it's just a counter of f of x I, the height times the width. Now, what is the width? The height is xi is given by a plus I delta x. And what is delta x? Delta x is b minus a over n. Okay, so it looks like this part over here on the outside is delta x.
Yeah.
Right. So delta x is already 2 over n. What's your a and your b? Your b is b on top. Your a is 1 over n. Cancel out the n, you get
So
b equals
B
3.
can only be 3.
Excellent. That's it.
Wait, so how did we get A from the integral, right?
Yeah, the
From
a
the
is the
bound that
bottom
we had.
value.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A is the bottom
Ah, there
value
it is.
and
Okay.
b is the top value. So that
Yeah.
second part is your delta x. All right.
Mhm.
Now this question can be structured in anything. They can change the function anyhow. They can put sine, cos, anything. Just worry about delta x on the outside, because that's the only thing that's kind of like constant. Right. Right. Excellent, guys.
Wow.
So in part B, graphing calculators are allowed. It's 45 minutes and we have 15 questions. And the question numbers are numbered from 76 to 90. I just relabeled them. I put it 31, 32, and 34, and so on, right up to 45 questions. All right. So we've done up to question number 30. So in part B now, graphing calculators are allowed. Make sure your calculator is in front of you. All right. And now let's start with this question. The function f is continuous on the closed interval 0 to 5. Okay, it is continuous. Continuous does not imply differentiability. If it is differentiable, then it's continuous, but not this. The function f is continuous on the closed. The graph f prime, the derivative of f is shown above, right? This is shown above. On which of the following intervals if is f increasing? What does, interpret the question, what does f increasing mean? F increasing means f prime x must be greater than 0. Decreasing means f prime x must be less than 0. And critical points means at 0. So we want to find when it is positive. Right, so we already got the derivative graph. So increasing means when is the graph above the x-axis, okay? When is the graph above the x-axis? It's above the x-axis from 0 to 2 and from 4 to 5. So it's increasing. F is increasing. In other words, f prime x is positive from 0 to 2 union 4 to 5. Right? When is it decreasing? 2 to 4. Less than 0. And when is it equal to 0? Equal to 0 means critical points. You still have to classify the critical points. When is it equal to 0? It's equal to 0 at 0, 2, and 4. I'm going to write it as a set, okay? At those points. Now, if you want to figure out which points are relative minimum and maximum values, very simple. I'm doing this in detail, all right? We already have the answer. The answer is D. when it's increasing 0 to 2, union 4 to 5. That's the answer. We already have the answer. I'm just explaining more in detail. 0, where's all the important points? 0 to 4. 0 to 4, and the graph stops at 5. Okay, so on the interval, so now remember, this is the interval for f prime x. Okay, this is the number line for f prime x, f prime. So when is it positive? It's positive between 0 and 2. Positive means the graph of f is increasing, right? So let's say f prime, let's just say, what if this was a graph of f? Then you would have found that it is increasing between 0 and 2, is decreasing between 2 and 4, and then it's increasing from 4 to 5. So when it increases, then decreases. So at 2, you will have a critical point, right? That critical point of 2 is what? Minimum or maximum? See, the graph goes up, then down. That's max, relative maximum. And 4, at 4, you're going to have a minimum or relative minimum. Are we good, guys? So I explained the entire derivative graph here. Are we good? Make
Yes.
sense? All right, excellent. Let's move on to the next question. The height of an object at time t greater than equal to 1 is given by h of t, where t is equal to this. What is the velocity of the object at time t equals 3? Easy peasy. Find the derivative, right?
Because
And
height over
substitute
t is same thing as saying delta x over t. So
dvdt.
we obtain the slope.
Yeah, dvdt. So 2t,
We should just
right,
put it in the calculator. It can find the derivative.
minus, so plus 16 t squared. You just need to substitute v prime 3, which is 6 plus 16 over 3 squared is 9. And that's 7, and 7 plus 7 over 9. It's around 7, so it's B. Okay, you can try it out on the calculator. How will you write it on the calculator? You say
Obtain the derivative.
ddx. No, you can put it onto the calculator. ddx of this function evaluated at 3. T squared minus 16 over t plus 15 evaluated at x is equal to 3. Change the variables to x, right? You can put it onto the calculator just like this, and you can get the answer. All right, so don't put 15 now. You already know that the derivative of 15 is 0. So no use putting 15. So you can say shift ddx, right, of alpha x squared minus 16 over alpha x at x equals 3. So what's the answer? 7.78778. Okay.
But
So we
for
had the same.
people who have a Texas instrument, it would be different.
Yeah, of course. But this is a very easy peasy question. It's like level 1. Just find the derivative, substitute 3. It's a level 1 type question, so it's not difficult at all. Find the derivative, substitute 3, and you got the answer. Just do direct substitution. You saw I didn't even need a calculator here. I said the answer is close between 7 and 8, and that's the only option I have. Let's continue next one. The function g is differentiable. If it's differentiable, then it's continuous. The function g is differentiable and satisfies these conditions. Okay. What is the approximation of g of -2? So you need to know what's the linear approximation. So g of x is approximately equal to g prime x into x minus x1 plus y1. All right. Now, we want to find g of -1.2. So g of -1.2 is approximately equal to, what's g prime x? G prime, remember we're substituting, wait 1 second. G prime x. So you are finding this is supposed to be g prime negative, g prime -1, right? And you are evaluating it at x is equal to -1. So that should be -1. Okay, wait, 1 second. We shouldn't go jump directly into this. First, find the approximation. So you're gonna say g prime x, all right? That's your formula, right? So g prime No, this is a linear approximation. Sorry, so it's g of x is approximately, what's g prime? G prime -1, right? Into x minus, what's x? Yeah, this one should be x1, g prime x1, yeah. -1 is +1, and what's the y value at, what's the y value? -1 and 4, right? Remember, it's -1 and 4. X value, y value is 4, so +4. Now you are trying to find g of -1.2. So g of -1.2 is approximately equal to, what's g prime 1? G prime 1 is 2 into -1.2 plus 1 plus 4. Give me the answer here, this answer here. So it's going to be 2 times negative 2 times negative 0.2, right?
4.2. 4.2 will be,
Okay, 4.2.
isn't it?
I got 3.6.
Yeah, this is negative, huh? This, yeah, it should be 3.6 then. Because
Oh
that's,
yeah, sorry, yeah, my bad,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that should be 3.6. We're not adding that. Remember, this part will be negative. Very good. Good, guys. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right. So Tara's heart rate during a workout is modeled by a differentiable function h, where h of t is measured in beats per minute. Where h of t is measured in beats per minute, right? That's already a rate. T is measured in minutes from the start of the workout. Which of the following expression gives Tara's average heart rate? So we're looking for average value of function, all right? Average value function is integral a to b of f of x dx and 1 over b minus a. Don't forget the 1 over b minus a. So now if you're going to fill in all this information, you already got h of t as a function, all right? And you got a and b from 30 to 60. So that's going to be 1 over 60 minus 30 is 30, integral 30 to 60 of h of t dt. Which one is the answer? B. Spot on. Are we good?
Yeah, still
These
easy
are all the,
question, I think.
yeah, of course, it's easy question. I don't know what's difficult about this. Next one. Let
Mr.
G be,
Do
yes,
the ones, the
yeah, we
exam
are
which I
doing,
told you.
we're coming there.
That free response
Let,
is very difficult.
1 second, 1 second. Let G be the function with first derivative where x is positive and g of 2 is equal to -7. What is the value of g of 5? Okay. How are we going to find this? G of 5. G of 2 is equal to -7. What is the value of g of 5? G prime x is equal to this. Okay, so if we integrate this, you'll get g. Yeah,
Integrate
so
g prime of x to get g of x.
so we're going to get g of, okay, if we integrate g prime x, we will not get g of x because we're integrating over a boundary from maybe from 2 to 5. Because remember, we got 2 to 5. We want to find the value of g of 5. So now remember, this is using fundamental theorem of calculus. If you integral a to b of f of x dx, right? Or in our case, g prime x dx, that will give you g of b minus g of a. That's what we are looking for, right? It's going to give you the bigger function. So if a antiderivative does, you will get g. Right, now let's substitute everything inside here. So integral a to b is integral 2 to 5. What is g prime x? The cube root of x cubed plus x dx is equal to, what is g of the upper value? G of 5
Which we want minus
g of 2. But g of 2 is already -7. So -7 will give us +7, all right? This here will give us +7. So take the +7 onto the other side and we subtract. So g of 5 is now equals to -7 plus integral 2 to 5 of x cubed plus x dx. You're not going to waste your time integrating that. You're just going to put it onto the calculator and get an answer. Please, someone put it onto the calculator and give me an answer. for 35.
Yeah, you get 18.402 and then you minus 7. So your final answer would be 11.402.
Right, great. I'm trusting your answer, right? Because you just need to enter this onto the calculator. There's nothing difficult there. Calculator work, because you're not going to integrate this. Next one, if f is a function that has a removable discontinuity, okay? A removable discontinuity is a graph that has a hole at x is equal to 3. Which of the following could be the graph of f? You can clearly see it can't be b because that's a jump.
It's
Okay.
C.
1 second. Good. You can see this is a jump. That's a jump. Or you can look at it from the top to the bottom. That's all
And
jump.
the D has a vertical asymptote.
So it's an infinite discontinuity, right?
Infinite discontinuity.
At 3. So at D, we have a vertical asymptote. This is an infinite discontinuity here, right? So this is infinite. So the only answer is C. You can clearly see it's a graph of the whole. So this is infinite. Right, let's move on to the next question. Good, we're doing well on time because we are at question 7. Each question is supposed to be taking you 3 minutes because they say 55, 50, all right, whatever. You got 15 questions and 45 minutes. Let's look at this. This is a very nice question because see what it says. Integral from 0 to 17 is 8, 17 to 20 is -3, and 13 to 20 is 7. There's a very complicated way of working out and there's a very easy way. The easy cheat way is this: draw a number line, right? 0 to 17. What's the answer from 0 to 17? Remember, you're going to 0 to 17 and to 20. So 0 to 17 is there. That area over here from there to there is 8. Okay. Then the integral from 17 to 20 is -3. Okay. That is -3. And then what else? You also got 13. 13 to 20 is from here to there. From 13 to 20 is 7. So what you think the integral from 13 to 17 is? What's 13 to 17? 7 minus 3, right?
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah. 7 minus 3.
13 to 17 would be minus 3 plus 10.
No.
No. We're gonna
4.
say we're gonna have
10
4.
because 10 minus 3 would give you
It's a
7.
4.
Bro,
Nah.
13 to 20, the whole thing is 7. 17 to 20, it's -3. So that means 13 to 17
Okay,
is
okay,
10.
okay.
Because 10 minus 3 would give you the whole thing 7.
It makes sense what you're saying. Okay. All right. What if we try to break up all the areas in pieces? Integral from 13 to 20 minus the integral from 17 to 20. Yes. You see, the integral from 13 to 20 is equal to integral 13 to 17 plus integral. I'm not putting all this gx and all this, right? So integral 13 to 20 is equal to integral 13 to 17 plus integral 17 to 20, isn't? And we want to
Yes, here
evaluate what is 13 to 17. Wait 1 second.
we can use
What
the
is
additive
1 second, 1
property.
second. Yeah, that's what we are doing. Integral from 13 to 20 is 7. 13 to 17, that's what we need to find.
No, that's wrong.
Why is wrong?
You're
And
supposed
then
to
17
do
to 20 is
you're
-3.
supposed to do
So you are right. You are right, it's
integral
10.
0 to 20 f of x d of x equals integral 0 to 17 f of x d of x plus integral 17 to 20.
No, we don't need that. I'm just working out what's 13 to 17. Then we can work out what's 0
It's
to
10.
13. Yeah, so it's equal to 10 because you're going to take the -3 over to the other side. So integral from 13 to 17 is just basically 13 to 17 is 10. So good. So this integral is 10. And now you got from 0 to 17 is what? 0 to 17 is 8, isn't? So
No,
this
0
has
to
to be
13. 0 to
Yeah,
13 asking.
Oh, yes. You want no, what I'm saying is you got from 0 to 17 is what? You want to find now. This
8,
is what we
8,
need to find.
8.
One second. Let's work it out. Note, we want to find integral from 0 to 13. In order to find 0 to 13, we take 0 to 17, right, is equal to integral 0 to 13 plus integral 13 to 17. Does that make sense? 0 to 13 plus 13 to 17 is same thing as saying 0 to 17. Now, 0 to 13, that's what we want, right? What is 13 to 17? That is plus 10. And what is 0 to 17? What was 0 to 17?
8.
That was 8. So 0 to 13 is -2.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that right? Yeah, so 0 to 13 is -2. You understood this whole thing? I just broke it up into pieces, right? And just using subtraction. Great, guys. Let's look at the next question. Question number 38. Okay. What's question number 38? What answer did you say, Meza?
I said -2, yeah, we get -2. But I did it a
0
different
to-
way, that's why.
No, it's the same thing. Wait, let's run through the solution again. Integral from 13 to 20. Integral from 13 to 20 is 13 to 17 plus 17 to 20. 17 to 20 we had, which is -3. And 13 to 70 and 13 to 20 we had, which was 7. Yes, so that will be 10. And then integral from 0 to 17 is 0 to 13 plus 13 to 17. 13 to 17 is already 10. And 0 to 13 is what we need. So 8 minus 10 is -2. Yeah, we'll go with -2 as our answer. Okay. Next one. Let f be the function defined above where k is positive and constant. For what value of k, if any, is f continuous? We want to find continuous. Substitute 3 on the left and substitute 3 on the right. X value 3. So you just need to solve this equation. K cubed plus 3 is equal to 16 over k squared minus 3. So what have I done? I took the value of 3 and substituted into x, took the value of 3 and substituted into x, because limit from the left must be equal to limit from the right. Limit as x approaches 3 from the left must be equal to limit as x approaches 3 from the right for continuity, okay? Which is equal to basically f of 3. Makes sense? So you can just solve this equation and press shift solve onto your calculator. K cubed plus 3 into k squared minus 3 is equal to 16. If you cross multiply, just solve this equation. Let's solve this equation. Mode, put your calculator on, open bracket, x cubed to the power 3 plus 3. Please, I hope you guys are also doing it and giving me the answer. X squared minus 3 alpha equals 16, right? And press shift solve. 2.081. 2.8. Are we good, guys?
Yeah.
So that was easy, all right? All right, so let's look at question number 39. The table above gives values of a continuous function f selected values of x. Based on the information in the table, which of the following statement must be true? F has at most 1, 0, relative maximum at x is equal to 2. There exists a value of c where, okay. Let's see, let's analyze the values, right? So I'm going to put it onto the Cartesian coordinates system, right? Now, a second, let's put skew here. Let's put it onto the Cartesian plane. You must have an understanding of what you are doing. You can't just go and, right? Now, you see at -5, the value is, at -5, the value is -9. I'm going to put a dot there, okay? That's where the graphs, one of the points are. At 0, it is 1, right? So there's a point 1. And at 2, the value is 5. So at 2, the value is 5. It's like way higher up, okay? So obviously, this value here is negative and this value is positive. It looks like we're using the intermediate value theorem. Maybe the graph is going like this. Okay, don't join it up with the, what you call, I'm just going to draw a random function. Okay, maybe it's, I don't know whether it's turning there or not. There's no You can't really make a conclusion about turning points here. It's just giving you random values. So we know that this value here is 5 at 2, okay? So all I can say is that there exists a value between -5. So you can say there exists a C. You see that value of C there? You can say there is a value of C between -5 and 2 such that f of C is equal to 0. You can say that's one of the conditions. You can say there exists a C. C is an element between -5 and 2, -5 and 0. So far, that's what I can say. Between -5 and 0 is intermediate value theorem, right? It's IVT. There's a value of C between -5 and 0. -5 can't be included, and 0 can't be included. Between -5 and 0, such that f of C is equal to 0. In other words, there's a root at C between -5 and 0, right? So let's look for one of these answers. So it's definitely intermediate value. So it can't be the first one. Can't figure out that. Those two options are incorrect. They gave us no information about the derivative. The table above gives values of continuous function. If the function is continuous, it doesn't mean it's differentiable. So why are they differentiating? We don't have any information about f prime c being equal to 2. All right. So this is incorrect. Right. So we don't know whether if this is, so there, I'm only left with one answer. Let's check if this answer is correct. There exists a value of c between -5 and 2. Okay, they're taking the entire interval between -5 and 2, such that f of c is equal to 4. Is f of c equals to 4? Yes, there might be a value somewhere around there because it's a continuous function, and between -5 and 2, such that the value can be 4. Yes, so that statement is true. See, I used process of elimination to get the answer. Does that make sense, guys? So
Yeah,
it was
easy.
definitely intermediate value theorem. You saw how I interpreted the question there,
Yeah.
because I saw one positive, one negative. Right, excellent. Let's look at the next problem. The function f is an antiderivative function. The function f is an antiderivative of the function g. So what does that mean? F is an antiderivative function of g. Okay. What is f of x? This. And what is g of x? G of x is this entire thing here. Which of the following is the x-coordinate of the location of a local maximum for the graph of f of x? How do you find local maximum? You need to say f prime x
It's
is
greater
equal
than
to
0.
0. Is equal to 0. Local maximum is equal to 0. So if you find f
Yes.
prime, if you find the derivative of this, what will you get? If you differentiate an integral, what do you get? You just get g of x. Makes sense?
Yeah.
So you're just solving g of x equal to 0. Just put it onto the calculator and you're done. So 3 minus the square root of x squared plus
Okay, let me
x
do it.
plus 4 cos x is equal to 0.
A
Let's solve this
minus
equation.
roots of
Teacher.
Very, guys, very
So-
important thing, very important note. Make sure your calculator is on radians mode. Do not put your calculator on degree mode. Yes,
Okay,
someone was
about
asking me a question.
yeah, it's me. We say that f of x equals to the integral of gx dx, yeah?
Wait
So
1 second.
because it,
Why did we say that? I interpreted the first statement. The function f is an antiderivative. What does antiderivative mean? The integral of the function g. Yes, you may continue.
oh, from the question, yeah, I got it. And because it's
That's
asking
it.
for us, why did you
Yes.
why are you finding f prime x?
Because when you find f prime x, you find local minimum and maximum.
Mr.
Oh,
Wade, this
okay,
question is
okay.
confusing me a little bit.
Why is it confusing you?
It's wordy. By the way, the
It's not
answer is
wordy.
D. The
It's
answer
not,
is
no,
D,
no,
but
no.
it's wordy.
Hello. It's not wordy. Read the first statement.
The
function-
function f is an antiderivative of the function
One
g.
second. Hold on. What does antiderivative mean? Integral.
Integral, yes.
Yeah, so it's the integral of g of x dx. That's it. Find the
Yeah, so
derivative
basically
of
f of x, okay. Which of the
f prime
following
x equals g of x.
which of the following is the x coordinate of the local maximum? So local
How do you
maximum
find
is
minimum maximum? How do you find
is-
minimum or maximum? It's a maximization problem.
you have to
If
make
you find
f
it,
prime of x equals 0.
right? So what
So
is
that
f
means
prime x?
if you integrate
Differentiating. No, you're not integrating g of x. You are differentiating the integral.
Why?
Because you're finding f prime x, so it's d dx of the integral of g of x dx, which is just g of x.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Excellent. Right, so what's the answer there? Did you solve
D.
it? So you got an answer of D. So the answer for x value you got is 3,140. Good.
Mister, are the AB and BC exams in the same day?
Yes. Now let's have a look at this question. It's a theoretical question. There's nothing to do here. It is so simple. First of all, the graph y equals f of x, this is a graph, on the interval 0 to 5 is shown above. Which of the following could be the graph of f prime x? Which is the graph of f prime x from here?
Okay, wait,
So we
let me
can
think.
eliminate the A, yeah? If I'm
Why
right.
you eliminate? Wait 1 second. Why are you eliminating A? Tell me.
Is the jumping, no?
No,
Or
no. We're not talking about jump.
Mister,
We're
can you
looking
go
at the
down to C
derivative.
and D?
We are
Can I
we
see
are
the whole
looking at
options?
the derivative graph.
Okay, wait. So that means, okay, go back up so I can see the slope. So
Very good. Let's
from
look
2
at the
to 5,
slope.
2
No,
to
let's
5,
look
it
at
would be increasing concave up.
look here. Second. Let's look at the slope of the function from 0 to 2. What is the slope?
Increasing.
Uh,
Increasing at a
no,
constant rate.
no. I'm not asking you for increasing. I'll ask you what is the slope? Is the slope positive or negative?
Positive.
Very good. Y equals mx plus b. I don't care. I know that the slope is positive. So if I sketch this on the derivative graph, the slope has to be positive. So all the ones with the negative slope, we strike out. So see, this one is negative slope below the y-axis. That's out. Are we good?
Yeah.
Now
yeah, I
one,
got you.
right. Now you have a quadratic function. If you have a quadratic function, right,
become
which is
linear.
starting, it will become linear. Good. So all of them are linear, but this is positive quadratic function, which is
Okay,
y
yeah.
equals, just think of ax squared plus bx plus c. Now you can choose any value of a, but a has to be positive because it's like this. Now, if you differentiate a positive quadratic function, will you get upward sloping or will you get downward sloping?
Positive slope, so they should get a
Positive
positive slope.
slope. You get a positive slope. So y prime has to be a positive slope. So all the ones with a downward slope, out. This option is out because this is down sloping. And this option can't be this option now because they put the same quadratic function there. The derivative of quadratic is linear. So 1 out, 2 out, 3 out. That's it. I got my answer.
So A
Positive
is correct,
sloping.
okay.
The one that
Yeah.
Farouk said was wrong, it's correct.
My bad. Yeah, I
Right.
just saw that it's look like jumping one.
No,
Isn't
no,
it,
no, no,
sir?
no,
No?
no, no, no. No, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about the jump. Worry about the slopes. Focus on the
But I have a
slopes.
question. If graph of f is continuous,
It's not continuous. Yeah, it is continuous at 2,
it
but it's
is
not
continuous,
differentiable.
so
But it's not
shouldn't that mean
differentiable at
that
2.
the derivative should be continuous?
No. I can give you an example. I can give you an example of an absolute value function. You asked a very good question. Let's look at an absolute value function. Y equals absolute value of x. Absolute value of x is this function here, is continuous at 0, right? But now the absolute value of x can be defined as x if x is less than or equal to 0. No, x if x is greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, right? And negative x if x is less than 0. I want you to find the derivative of this. What's y prime? 1. And what's the derivative of this? Negative 1. So when a graph meets at a vertex, if a function meets at a vertex, at that vertex point, it is never ever differentiable. You understand? So the graph can't be differentiable at 2. It can be continuous, but it's not differentiable. Now, the other case is a direct relationship. It has to be, if it is differentiable, then it's always continuous. Continuity does not imply differentiability, but differentiability does imply continuity. Does that make sense? Very important concept. So the graph is not differentiable at 2 because it meets at a vertex. So whenever the graph meets at a vertex now, see even absolute value function, it's not differentiable. I just explained it to you. Are we good, guys? Maybe continue. Let's move on to question number 42. Hello, do you understand?
Yeah, I
Very
understand.
good. That's excellent. Let's look at question number 42. At time t 0 to 2, the velocity of the particle moving along the x-axis is given by this. Let t equals b be the time at which the particle changes direction from moving left to moving right. So I want to draw a number line, okay? Try to make sense of this problem. So it's 0 to 2. First of all, the time is from 0 to 2. Okay? Let b be the time at which the particle changes direction. So between 0 and 2, b is somewhere around here, is moving from left to moving right. So it's moving from left to moving right. Okay? In other words, velocity negative to velocity positive. What is the total distance traveled by the particle during the time interval 0 to b? You want the distance traveled from 0 to b, okay? So first we need to make v of t equal to 0, isn't? V of t is equal to 0. If you make it equal to 0, then you will have change in direction. Think of the velocity function. Just say if I'm thinking about the sine graph, and this is the velocity function, this is positive and that's negative, right? So when it hits the x-axis, the velocity time graph, then it changes direction, okay? So obviously first I need to find b. So v of t must be equal to 0 to find b. So in other words, v of b is equal to 0. This implies t is equal to b. So solve this equation. Solve this equation here. So you're going to say t sine t cubed is equal to 0. So this implies t is equal to, give me the answer for t, positive answer. It has to be, the answer has to be between 0 and 2. Anyone has an answer? Let's do it. Alpha x sine alpha x to the power 3 alpha equals 0. Is my calculator in radians modes? It is. Shift solve, press equals. So I'm getting an answer of, no, that answer can't be correct. X sine moving left to moving right. What is the total distance traveled by the particle during the time interval 0 to b? B, yeah. How are we going to solve this? Miss, are you getting different answers on your calculator? Anything different?
Wait, let me do it because I was still
Maybe,
thinking
maybe,
of the
maybe your graphing calculator might give a different answer.
I was still thinking of the previous question. I still 50-50.
Why?
I don't know, it's just hard. I'm
The
getting
previous question.
3.15.
You can't get 3.1.5. The answer is supposed to be between 0 and 2.
Let me do it on my graphing one. Wait, let me take it out. Wait. Okay. Uh,
X sine x cubed is equal to 0.
yeah.
See what other answers you are getting. There might be multiple answers.
Mister, can you just remind me how to make it equal to 0? I forgot that part.
Just alpha
I
equals.
think it's
Press,
alpha calc. Alpha calc.
yeah.
Alpha.
No, alpha equals like this. We're getting an answer which is more than
No, the
this.
graphing one is different. The graphing calculator is different.
Uh-huh. And then
I
to
got
find
syntax
the,
error, by the way. I don't know why. I got syntax error.
Man,
why you
just
getting
use Desmos. What is the
Oh yeah,
thing?
let's use Desmos. Yeah, I forgot about Desmos. Uh, what was it?
It was
X
X
sine
sine cubed.
x to the power 3 is equal to 0. Whoa. There is an intercept between
1 to
0.
1.5.
Is it? There's an answer there and there's an answer there. Which one should we take?
Take the answer from Desmos.
Yeah, I will do that. 1.845. Yeah, there's many places where it changes direction. What's wrong with this question? When we
So
solved
go
it,
back to the question, wait.
when does it change direction? When the velocity is 0, then it changes direction. So t sine t cubed is equal to 0. That's what I have. And t is equal to... okay. T, you can just take out t from here. You don't need the t there. So just sine of t cubed is equal to 0. So alpha 3 alpha equals, you don't even need the t there because the value of... Why are we getting syntax error? Syntax error.
Yeah,
You
I
have
also
to have
think
a
it's
t
the
there.
theorem.
Okay, what if I put the alpha x back here?
Yeah,
Why?
I also
Oh, no,
think
no,
it's
no,
syntax error.
no. Syntax error because you're pressing equals. You don't press equals. Because solving an equation, you press shift to solve. So I'm getting 2.11,
Oh,
2.11. But we can't get an answer of 2.11. Okay, I'm going to take the answer from Desmos, right? And there are two different answers there. So we're going to take, what should we take? Anything. So there's one answer here, and there's one answer here. Right. What if we take this answer over here, which is 1.464, right? I'm going to take 1.464. I think it will be wiser to take 1.465, right? 1.465. That's closer there. 1.4645. Okay, 1.4645. Let's take that one answer. So we're getting two different answers. T1 equals 1.4645. And the second answer I'm getting is T2 answer. Obviously, it's multiple choice, so we know exactly which answer they have chosen, all right? 1 point...
teacher, the Gemini tell me that the answer is C.
Wait 1 second. 1.8452. We have to solve it. 1.8452. 1.8452.
Or Gemini is
1
telling
point...
you D and DeepSeek's telling me D, bro.
Okay, wait 1 second. 1
Allah,
second.
it gave me
Listen.
C. Well, serious.
Guys, please focus. What is the total distance traveled by the particle during the time interval? So distance traveled, right? So distance traveled is integral 0 to b of absolute value v of t dt.
Yes, it's showing this one, sir.
Okay, wait. Let's work it out. So integral 0 to maybe t1, 0 to b, t sine t cubed dt. Now we don't know which one it is, right? So because we got two different b values, so I'm going to put it onto the integral and see which answer is giving me. So the integral is from 0 to
0.4646. Try to do that.
1.4645, right? And alpha x sine alpha x to the power 3, right, is equal to
Absolute value,
0.
it should be, no?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Absolute value.
Absolute
Why didn't I
value,
put
sorry.
absolute value? Absolute. I forgot the absolute value. Sorry about that. Shift absolute value. Yeah. Alpha x sine alpha x to the power 3, close bracket, and delete all this. Thank you. Right. I'm getting 0.61157. So there's 0.612.
Yeah, mister,
There
I
is an
solved it and I got 0.612 as well.
So there's one answer there. Let's look at substituting 1.8452. Why is it taking so long to calculate now?
Because it's a big calculation, man.
You see two
1.0.
different answers. Yes, give me this
We
one,
got a
sir.
problem. So where should we integrate from moving left to moving right? It's moving left to moving right. Moving
Mister,
left.
the
1
velocity
second.
must be negative.
1 second. Wait, we got two different t values, right? So we got t1 and we got t2. I want you to substitute, I want you to figure out the signs in between so we know exactly which one to take, okay? I want you to find a value between t1 and t2 and substitute into this equation. So maybe a value from 1.4645 and 1.84, so maybe 1.5. Substitute 1.5 between this because I need the sign from there. And I need the sign between 0 and there. So if I substitute 1, so what is 1 times sine of 1 to the power 3? 0.84, that's positive. Between there and there. No, but we want the distance traveled. Oh, okay. Because we want the distance traveled and it's changing from left to right, okay? Obviously this was positive, that was negative. We need the distance traveled to the highest b value, okay? So we need to
So you
choose
want to know what I
that.
did?
So I will choose option C. I'll go with the highest b value.
Yes, you want to know what I did, mister?
What did you do?
I got t equals to root pi and root 2 pi. And then root 2 pi, it won't work because it would be greater. Root 2 pi would be 2.5 and it's not
Wait,
allowed.
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. We can't take 2.5. Yeah, it's not allowed. Yeah.
Yeah, so then I just integrated the function from 0 to root pi, and then
What
I
is
got
root pi?
1.01.
What is root pi? Square root of pi, shift pi is 1.7724. We don't even have a b value of 1.7724.
I don't know, but I did that and then I exactly got the answer. I got 1.011. If you use
Moving
u
left to move.
substitution, if you use
No,
u
you don't need.
substitution
No
from
need.
0
No
to
need.
pi,
No need. Because we're not integrating. We are using a calculator to solve. No need for u substitution. You can't integrate this function either way. It's integration by parts and complicated integrals. It's going to use approximate integration, your Euler's method and stuff. That's in the BC course, not in your course. All right, so I'm going to go with C.
Mr. Go back up to 41.
Okay.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
Wait, if the graph of f, it has a corner at x equals 2.
So
Okay?
whenever there's a corner, whenever there's a
Yes,
vertex or
yes.
a corner, it's never ever differentiable at that point.
Yes. So if it has a corner at x equals 2, so why does the multiple choice still show a single value for f prime of 2?
It did show a value. There's a jump discontinuity there.
No, why?
All of them has holes because I told you it's not differentiable. If it's not differentiable, then there has to be some kind of discontinuity.
No, but if f is not differentiable at the
No,
point,
who's told you?
then
Who
why
told you? Who
does the
told you?
problem assume that f prime it still has a graph?
Yeah, because it's multiple choice. F prime does have a graph. F prime still has a graph. There's no issues with that. What are you confused about? I use process of elimination to eliminate all three graphs. I just got this answer. That's it. You don't need to worry about what the derivative function is. You don't even need to worry about what this function is. Meanwhile, you can go and calculate what the well, you can't find the value. You can't find the exact function of this because you don't know where the x-intercept is. You don't have any y values, so you can't really assume anything. So there is just based on assumption because there is no y values here. Are we good? That's the reason why they're giving you the derivative graph is giving you the same thing. And they didn't even put a y value here as well. And you can clearly see in the absolute value function, there's a corner. So there will be a jump discontinuity in that case. I think most corners do have jump discontinuities. Are we good?
Yeah.
Let's move on to question number 43. Let f be the function defined by this. For how many values of x in the open interval 0 to 1.565 is the instantaneous rate of change? Instantaneous rate of change. What is instantaneous rate of change? F prime x at that instant is equal to the average rate of change. What is average rate of change? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, what is y2? F of 1.565 minus f of 0 divided by 1.565 minus
Let
0.
me substitute in.
You have
So
to
one-
substitute 1.565. No need to substitute f of 0 because f of 0 is just 0. You just need to
Yes.
substitute
Yeah,
1.565 inside here.
1.565 minus 2 over 3 times 1.565 to the power of 3 plus 1/2 times 1.565 squared minus 1/2 times 1.565 equal divided by 1.565.
Miss, I'm getting the answer in the negative.
What negative answer you're getting?
Negative 0.4.
That's the exact answer you're getting.
Yeah.
No, give me more decimals. Negative 0.
Negative 0. Negative 0.3920573854.
1 second. Give me 4 decimals. 0
Negative
0.39.
0.3920.
All right. Now let's look at what f prime x is. F prime x is 4 times quarter is 1. So x cubed. 3 times 2/3 is minus 2x squared. 2 times half is x. Minus half. Take minus half and add it to 0 0.3920.
Plus 1/2.
Minus
Okay,
1/2.
you would get 0.107.
No. Minus half plus 0 0.39. You should get 0 0.11, something like that.
What? Minus half plus
Plus, yeah, bring that equation to the other side.
minus 1/2 plus 0.3920. You'd get negative 0.108.
Negative 0.
108.
Very good. Now, we just need to solve this equation. You can use mode 5(3). No, mode 5. You're selecting the cubic 5(4), the cubic equation. Substitute everything. 1 minus 2 1 and negative 0 0.108.
It's
How many answers are you getting? Is this
Three
answer
answers.
now?
Three.
Wait. You need to check. You need to check if these answers lie between 0 and 1.565. So this answer is between 0 and 1.565. That's correct. This answer is also between 0 and 1.565. The next answer is also between 0 and 1. So 3.
yes, 3.
Good. It doesn't mean that cubic equation will always result in 3 real roots. You are only working with the real roots. You're not working with complex numbers, right? So if you're going to get complex numbers, you throw that away. You're looking for real roots. So 3 real roots. You saw how we did it. Equation solver, done. Next question. Let G be twice differentiable function. In other words, you're finding the first derivative and the second derivative for all real numbers x, such that G of 3 is equal to 12, right? And G of 5 is equal to 18, okay? Which of 20, 21, and 22 are possible value for G of 6? Right, so first we're going to try to get a linear approximation, okay? Makes sense. Let's find the average value here. So what's the average gradient? What's the average gradient between this? It's y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus
x2 minus
x1.
x1.
What's y2? 18.
18 minus 12 over 5 minus 3.
Right,
So
this is a
6
higher,
over 2.
listen. This is a higher order question. So this is 6 over 2 is 3, right?
Yeah.
So now this can be approximated with the it can be approximated to f prime x, okay?
So it would be 21, I think, because you're
No,
adding
wait,
3 every time that G goes up
Once-
by one number.
We're not sure. Wait, but you just said that you took it as like arithmetic sequence, but you didn't consider these options. See?
Oh.
So I'm trying to find a linear function, so just be careful. Right. So it's that's why I'm saying it's a higher order thinking question. All right, so once we have that, next thing what we're going to say is y is equal to, trying to get a linear approximation, is f prime x, right? Into x minus, yeah, we need to take a coordinate at 3 and 12. Let's take it as 3 and 12. Right. You know which equation I'm using? X minus x1, y1. X minus x1 and y1, right? F prime x is 3. So you got x minus, what's x1? 3. And what's y1? 12. Okay. Now, what we're saying, trying to find g of 6, all right? So let's say this is g of 6. Why did I put f function? Should I put f of x function is approximated to be. All right, so now let's change the f to g because we're working on the g function. So g of 6 is equal to 3 into 6 minus 3 plus 12, right? Now, what is this? This is linear approximation, isn't?
Yeah.
Linear approximation, good. Now, what is the answer here? Is 21 correct?
Yeah.
Now, let's draw a graph. I need to explain this thing here to you because remember, we just took linear approximation. We only considered these scenarios. We didn't consider these scenarios here. So, what's happening at 3? The value at 3 is 12, and the value at 5, the value at 3 is 12. Let's just say this is 12, and the value at 5 is 18. Right? I will put a linear line here, okay? Now, what is this linear line? This linear line is an approximation, it's a tangent line approximation, correct? Now you are trying to find 6. Right? What is the derivative of this line? What's ddx of this line? What's the derivative of this? You'll get a number, isn't it?
Slope.
You get a constant.
Yeah.
Right. If you try to find the slope, okay, let's just say this, we said this was an approximation to g of x, right? So if I try to find y prime, remember y is an approximation to g of x. So if I try y prime, I will get slope, which is positive. Find y double prime, I will get 0. The derivative of a constant is 0. Is y prime greater than 0? Yes. But g double prime is not greater than 0. In other words, g of 6 is a number on the g of 6 is a number 21, which is on the secant line, which is a tangent line approximation. But our function looks like is concave up, right? And it's increasing. So it looks like our function is like going upwards like this. Our function is concave up and increasing. Isn't it like that? So it can't be 21. It has to be higher than 21. So which value is higher than 21? If the function was concave down, then it will be going like this. So you got three different graphs: straight line, concave up, concave down. Concave down would have been lower function, concave up will be higher function, higher value. Does that make sense? Because the number 21 is on the secant line. We want an approximation for g of x, which is g of 6. So it looks like our function is increasing and it is concave up. Which is increasing and concave up? These conditions here. You didn't take into account these conditions. That's why you are getting 21. So the correct answer is 22 only. Does that make sense? Right, excellent. Let's go to, for you. That's why I'm saying this is a higher order question. Not that straightforward. And this is another question which we have done in the past in our lectures. But anyways, let's do it again. The table above gives values of the differentiable function f and its derivative at selected values of x. If g is the inverse function of f, what is g? The inverse function of f. What is g? Inverse function of f, right?
Yeah.
Which of the following is an equation of the tangent to the graph of g? You want to find the equation of the tangent line to the graph of g at the point where x is equal to 2. Let's find point of contact first. First, we find point of contact. What is point of contact? 2 and g of 2. Which is point of contact is 2. What is g of 2? F inverse 2. So the point of contact is 2. What is F inverse 2? F inverse 2, F of, not F of 2, F inverse 2. So you need to look at the 2 on the y value. So F inverse 2 is 3. Does that make sense? Guys, see, if you have x and y coordinates, this y is f of x, correct?
Yeah.
Right, so if I'm trying to inverse,
Yeah,
it
so
becomes-
that means yeah, okay.
it becomes x, right? So that's what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to find the inverse, you're going to switch it around. So you're trying to get the inverse value here. F inverse 2 is 3. Okay, let's write it like this. It will make more sense to you. What is f of 3? F of 3 is equal to 2. If I inverse this side, I need to inverse this side. So 3 equals, so I'm going to inverse here, and I'm going to inverse here, F inverse 2. So I inverse both sides. So F inverse F is 3. 3 equals F inverse 2. So I hope you understood that. So this part here, so now we sorted out one problem, which is point of contact, right? So we got point of contact. The equation of the tangent line is the graph of G is tangent at this point. Okay, 2 and 3. So this is your x1, that's your y1. That problem is sorted. Now you need to find the derivative of G to find the slope at 2. Now how are you going to find the derivative of G? We got a problem because now I'm going to inverse both sides. So you're going to say f g of x. I'm going to put f on both sides, right? So f g of x is equal to f of f inverse x is just x. Does that make sense? Let me do a step in between for you. So basically what you are doing, you functioning both sides, right? You can see f and f inverse cancel out. That's x. That's one of the rule. Remember the rule is f of f inverse x is equal to x. We have proved that in inverse function. Or f inverse f of x is also equals to x. Knowing these two rules. Now you need to find the derivative of this. What is the derivative of this? This is a composite function. So the derivative, you start differentiating from the outside. So that's f prime, okay, f prime g of x times the derivative of the inside g prime x is just equal to 1. Now, you want to evaluate this at x is equal to 2 because we want to find the slope. You're finding g prime x. Your goal is to find g prime 2, which is your slope. So you're going to say f prime, what is this? G of 2 times g prime 2 is equal to 1. What is g of 2? Did we find g of 2? G of 2 is f inverse 2. We did find it. F inverse 2 is 3. Right, so g of 2 is 3. Now, what is f prime 3? Let's look at this function. What's f prime 3? Easy. Go to 3. F prime 3 is 5. So what is g prime 2? That's your slope, which is equals to 1/5. And what's the equation of the tangent line? Y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. That's your tangent line. So y is equal to, what's m? 1/5. What's your point of contact? Point of contact was 2 and 3. x1 is x minus 2. And take this minus 3 over, you get plus 3. So where's your equation? 1/5 x minus 2 plus 3. Answer is C. Right, so I hope you guys understood